Our first guest of the night, Wisdom 442 has to say, but welcome in everyone. And Trent, I appreciate you for the superpower. All right, give us a minute, you guys. Give us a minute. We're going to go to get our first guest up of the night. What's going on, Wisdom? Did you vote for Trump? Wisdom or Matt? Hi, did either of y'all vote for Trump?
Yeah, I voted for Trump.
You voted for Trump. All right. Well, you should have voted for Kamala Harris. So why did you vote for Trump?
Honestly, my honest opinion was I would argue I'm more of a moderate. I'm there on both sides because I care about the policies more than I do the politician. I think.
Yeah, so why did you vote for Trump?
So me personally, it has to do, I derive pretty much all of my beliefs and opinions off of my faith. I'm a Christian, and I think that the policies of the Republican side better demonstrate Christian beliefs comparatively.
No, thank you for the travel. Sure, like could you name one specifically?
Yeah, abortion's a big deal. I know it's a super controversial one, and Trump himself. So Trump himself.
Kimberly, thank you for the glowing jellyfish.
Trump himself doesn't believe in a full abortion ban. He supports a 6-week. That's what he's said vocally. But the Republican,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what he thinks, says, or believes in.
Yes,
it's what he
I understand.
Legal, okay, and the fact that he pushed it back to this. Okay, can I talk?
Yeah, go ahead. I apologize.
Thank you. But yeah, no, let's go ahead and talk about this. I don't think that the pro-life view is derivative from Christianity, and here's why. But we first need to agree on our terms. Can we define pro-life as a belief or set of beliefs that inevitably wants to restrict or impede upon a woman's access to abortion? Accessibility or will to get an abortion?
I would not word it like that.
Okay, well then can you define what the pro-life movement means?
That me personally, I believe me being pro-life means I do not put a different. I believe all humans are equal. I believe all.
Yeah, but like, what does it mean to be pro-life? How's that enacted through legislation?
Well, if you're going legislation, then I would agree with you for the sake of the argument.
It's not just agreeing with me for the sake of the argument. That's what it means to be pro-life, right? You see some inherent or value in the fetus, right? And you want to impede on or restrict the will of the woman to get an abortion. You'd agree with that, right?
Sure. Yes.
Okay. Goda, thank you for the $10 on PayPal. I appreciate you so much for the love. Show some love to Goda in the chat. So yeah, I know. I just thought I'd ask you: is God pro-life?
Yes, 100%.
Wait, so you're saying that God wants to impede upon the will or ability of a woman to get an abortion? I thought, in accordance with the Bible and the gospel, that God upheld value to individuals' free will and would never impede upon the will or ability of anyone to do anything.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that.
Okay, but we just agreed that we could define pro-life, right, as a belief or set of beliefs that would inevitably lead to the consequence of an impedance on the ability or will of a woman to get an abortion. So can you maybe redefine pro-life for me?
Okay. Well, I'll just redefine it in a personal way. I believe that it's simple for me. I don't believe that humans should have the right to look at a human being, whether a fetus, whether someone on death row, whether whatever, and say, this person deserves to die and I deserve to live.
Okay, well, I mean, you just agreed with me because you said that women shouldn't have the right to get an abortion, meaning that you want to impede, restrict upon their ability or will to get an abortion. So you do agree with me then. So by your own definition, God is not pro-life because one question, would God ever impede upon the will or ability of a woman from getting an abortion?
Because of free will, no.
Okay, so God's not pro-life. So if God's pro-choice, why aren't you?
Because like I said, as a human,
thank you for the subscription.
As a human, as a lower sentient being than God, I do not believe it. I am not the judge. I can't say that this person deserves to live, this person deserves to die, whether that's death row, whether that's abortion, whether that's people.
Raven, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. Wait, if you're not the judge and you can't say that this person deserves to live, well, then you shouldn't vote for legislation that would impede upon a woman's ability to access abortion because you think that this fetus deserves to live, right? And that's going to be the same view of God, right? I mean, you literally just explained bar for bar, word for word, statement for statement, why you shouldn't be in support of pro-life legislation.
According to you.
No, according to you. Well, you said that you are not the judge and you don't have the ability to determine who lives. Okay. You don't have the ability to determine that the fetus should live.
Okay.
Right, thank you for the subscription.
Well, I honestly believe you're twisting my words in a different context, but I don't know really. I don't think this could go anywhere, but I think.
Okay. You want to call it?
Jesus loves you, man. You have a blessed day.
One question before you leave.
Okay.
Awesome. Would you say that the gospel upholds, right, helping those that are less fortunate from yourselves, providing to the needy and poor? Ash, thank you so much for the galaxy. The answer is yes. So in Psalms 32 it says, right, if you provide to those who are more needy
Psalms
to
isn't
you.
the Gospels.
Okay, well, Psalms is in the Old Testament. In the Gospels, we could talk about Mark or John. By the way, you're okay with the Old Testament. The Ten Commandments are in the Old Testament. But about the Gospel, I mean, we could look at Mark or John. Flower, I appreciate you for the galaxy.
There's
like
a difference between Old Covenant and New Covenant.
Okay, yeah, but you still think that the Old Covenant is the Word of God, bro.
Well, yes.
Okay, awesome. So would you agree that the Bible as a whole, including the gospel, right, would reflect virtues where you should provide to those that are more needy to you, all right, and which shall be given much glory in the kingdom of God. And that providing to those that are more needy than you, including the poor, all right, is incredibly important to God.
I don't believe that if I give money to the poor, I'm going to have a higher space in heaven than someone else.
No one ever said that. I just said that it's important in the eyes of God for you to provide to those that are more needy than yourself.
Yeah, I would say so.
Awesome. Name one piece of legislation ever pushed through Congress by Republicans, including Trump, that only benefited the poor.
So,
Purdy, thank you for the hands up. I appreciate you for the love.
like I said, I'm not necessarily for Trump, but I'm for Republican policy. So,
Awesome. So name one piece of legislation ever pushed through Congress by Republicans specifically that only benefited the poor.
There was a bipartisan bill during the Obama administration to help with the HUD housing for poor people.
Thank you so much for the love you. I asked for a bill pushed by Republicans, right? And you can name the bill.
I don't know off the top of my head, man. But I know that, funding for HUD housing was bipartisan and went
What was
through.
the name of the bill?
I don't know stuff like that, man. I can't name bills, times, dates, but I know it happened.
Great.
If I had a computer in front of me, I could look it up.
Thank you for the galaxy. Awesome, man.
It happened during the Obama administration.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you for coming up, man. I understand.
Absolutely.
Feel free
Have a
to
blessed
head down.
day. Jesus loves you, man.
Okay. We're going to move on to our next guest. Let's go and see what they have to say. And by the way, now that we have 10.5 thousand people in here, I just wanted to reiterate my purpose for hosting this live. I think it's important in the years leading up to an election that we kind of lay the groundwork for having these conversations to build virtues and character in American citizens to cast their vote for the better candidate. So if we could start getting Republicans, conservatives, Trump voters to understand now why they made a bad decision, hopefully they'll vote better moving forward. So, I mean, I don't know how many of these lives we're going to host, but I guess we'll just have to see. But, this is what we're doing for right now. Christopher, what's going on? Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did. And I would like to say, huge fan of you. And, I like what you do for your work. And, free country and free speech, bro. I'll tell you right now.
Okay, wait. First of all, I appreciate that. Second of all, if you like free speech, well, then why did you vote for Trump? Because he wants to imprison people for a year in jail for burning the American flag. The Supreme Court ruled in the 70s that that's protected under the First Amendment right to freedom of expression.
Well, for me, as a Republican, I voted for my first time this year. I'm 19. So, also, he's going to lower gas prices.
How?
He is good. How?
Yeah.
Because I trust his words, I trust his words.
Okay, I don't. So how is he going to do it?
How's he going to do it? I don't know how he's going to do it, but he is going to.
How do you know? Then how do you know he's going to do it?
Because he lowered it back in 2016.
How did he lower in 2016?
How he lowered by passing the bill or whatever. But anyways,
What bill?
all I know is that he's
What
good.
bill did he pass that lowered gas prices?
I don't know.
Okay, because he didn't.
Well, he is going to lower gas prices. He's also going
Did you say
to.
that he's going to lower gas prices by making America more energy independent?
Not exactly, but
Great answer, because the country was more energy independent under Biden and Harris than it was under Trump. We made more oil and we're less reliant on imports. So how's he going to do it?
How's he do it? Well, he's going to do it because I believe in him. How?
Yeah.
Because he's a
Angela,
person.
thank you for the you're amazing. Because he's a person. Okay, so I'm a person. Can I lower gas prices? Kamala Harris is a person. Can she lower gas prices? Your answer is
She
going to be
can
no,
if she
no, no,
wanted
no,
to.
no, up and down the ballot. So how is he going to lower gas prices? Are you saying that you think he's going to lower gas prices because he said he was going to lower gas prices?
I just trust his word. He's going to lower gas prices. He's going to cut taxes, and he's also going to close up the border.
Do you think that E. Jean Carroll, right, the woman who not only accused Donald Trump of raping her, Jace, thank you for the galaxy, but then also proved it in a court of law, was telling the truth? Do you trust her word?
Well, I mean, if she has proof, yes.
Okay, wait. So you're saying that you have to have proof to trust E. Jean Carroll's word? Why don't you have to have a plan to trust Donald Trump's word?
You just gotta follow your gut. That's really
Angela, thank you for the galaxy. Well, no, it's not just follow your gut, because when we were talking about E. Jean Carroll, you asked for evidence.
true. Because it's all about evidence in the
If
end.
it's all about evidence, then it's not about following your gut. Is following your gut evidence?
Technically, yes. In the end.
Okay. So following your gut is evidence. So when we had millions of humans living on the planet following their gut to believe that the earth was flat, would you say that for thousands of years there existed an abundance of evidence for flat earth?
But the earth is not flat, it's round.
So there didn't exist an abundance of evidence that the earth was flat, even though there existed an abundance of people following their gut. So
It's
no,
what they-
not following your gut is not evidence. And I can't even believe that
It's-
you're making that argument.
It's what they believed back then, though. I mean, back then, like
God,
they didn't
look at
have
the
like,
subscription.
they didn't have no internet back then. Like during like before Jesus, before Christ, like they actually had to build stuff and they had to use their own brains and think. Like they followed their own gut just to do all that. I mean,
Yeah, and they were misled. They were led in the wrong direction. So no, you can't just like follow your gut to the conclusion that Donald Trump's going to lower gas prices. That's a little bit absurd. I mean, can you at least admit, agree, and concede that? And like moving forward, when you're
I
voting
do.
for politicians,
I
you should only vote on the basis of what they have a plan to achieve, not the words that come out of their mouth. Like
I do agree.
I mean, essentially, what you're telling us is that any American citizen can get up on a big old stage in front of all 300 American citizens and pay their way there with their billions of dollars and just shout and scream into a mic telling the American people whatever they want to hear. And because they're telling the American people whatever they want to hear, the American people will vote for them. And that's an issue. Okay. You shouldn't vote for Donald Trump because he says that he's going to lower gas prices and you baselessly believe him. You should have voted for Donald Trump because he said he was going to lower gas prices and gave you a comprehensive plan in which he was going to achieve that goal. And that's the issue, right? You can't just say, oh, my gut. Like, what if I followed my gut into voting for Kamala Harris because she said X, Y, and Z, and it just sounded better to me than what Trump had said, right? We need to be looking at their plans. Thank you for the travel.
okay. So tell me this: what do you think about him trying to close up the border? About letting the immigrants in with guns?
Yeah, sure. What's his plan to close the border? What's his plan to make America safer by closing the border? What is it?
Well, his plan is to keep all the immigrants out because a lot.
And how's he gonna do that?
What, 10,000 in? 10,000, right? And
Wait. How is he going to do that? What is his plan for the southern border? Be very specific.
his plan is to close the border up. Okay.
How?
How?
Yeah.
Because they're crossing our border.
Okay, but what does closing the border mean?
To not let trespassers cross our country because
Undocumented migrants. So how's he going to stop undocumented
there
migrants
has
from
been a
coming into
lot-
our country? What is his plan? What is his plan to stop undocumented migrants from entering into our country?
to build the wall and get that done. And
So
out of
you
the
think
way.
that building the wall will stop undocumented migrants?
It won't stop, but it will keep a lot of trespassers out because there has been a lot of immigrants crossing with their pews, basically. There
A
has
lot of
been
them-
and
oh,
there has
wait.
been a couple people that got killed.
Okay, you think that they're violent and they're criminals. So my question to you is, are you a US born citizen?
Yes, I am. I was born in Florida.
You are 2 times more likely to commit a violent crime than an undocumented migrant. Should we build a wall to keep you out?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, but you got to realize we don't know what they
Richie, thank
did
you for the
in their
subscription.
country. Some of them could be highly bad criminals and like on the high kill watch list, basically.
Okay, they could be highly bad criminals. So listen, here's my idea, right? How about we actually work on fixing the legal processes so we could reduce the incentive that exists for migrants to come in through undocumented means, right? So then we could actually have some tools to vet migrants coming into our country. That's what we do, okay? And that's what Kamala Harris wanted to do, but because Trump won, all we have is rhetoric and prejudice, not an actual substantive plan. Okay, but once again, the whole point about fear-mongering the American public by saying that undocumented migrants are criminals, are bad people, they could come in here, they could rape our women and kill our children, etc. Right? We know that that is a lie, and we know that that is just violent, hateful rhetoric because of the crime rates. Violent crimes are more likely to be committed by U.S. citizens and undocumented migrants to a significant degree. And when we talk about the bad things that happen at the southern border, like drug trafficking, child sex trafficking, human trafficking, all of these things are disproportionately committed by U.S. citizens because it is U.S. citizens who are hired by the cartel to do those things because they're not thoroughly investigated as much as undocumented migrants or migrants as a whole are at our southern border. 85% of the drugs that are trafficked across the southern border are trafficked by U.S. citizens.
Yeah, you're right. You're right on that. But like, who's gonna make more crime, us or the illegal immigrants?
More crime, us.
Okay, okay. Whites or blacks, in your opinion?
Okay, whoa, okay. First of all, please do not call black people black with an S at the end. That term has just been used to historically demean and dehumanize them.
Yes, yes. But what do you think?
What could you okay, explain to me your question? Repeat it.
So, is half of us gonna make more?
Crimes are white people. Do white people commit more crimes than black people? Yes.
Yes.
They do.
That's what I want the answer. Yes.
The answer is yes.
The answer is yes. Okay.
Yeah. Are you going to give me the 35, 50% statistic? 13 of the population commits 50% of the crimes.
Can you explain why though?
Yeah, sure, because black people are over arrested compared to white people. Did you know that 13% of our population, black Americans, account for 44% of exonerations in our criminal justice system? And when you would account for those exonerations into that statistic, right, there no longer exists that same disproportionality. And then when you'd also factor in for its slavery in its aftermath, that led to lower socioeconomic standards on average for the average black American compared to the average white American. Right, that the remainder can be explained given, right, the reduction in the average socioeconomic standing caused by slavery and its aftermath. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Do you think that black people are just dispositioned to be more violent? Is that your claim?
No.
Okay, well, so then what is your claim? What was the purpose of you bringing up that statistic that is false and misled?
We're all equal. Everyone's going to make mistakes, you know? Like, one person could do, okay, so say if you and me were in a situation, I could do something worse, but you could do even something better. Like, you know what I mean? Like
better. Grammar. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm waiting.
But like, it's all about them pointing fingers though, in the end. I mean, like.
Okay, you're saying that we shouldn't point fingers?
No, we should not.
Okay, well then why are you pointing fingers at undocumented migrants 30 seconds ago when you said that, well, they could have committed violent crimes in their country?
Well, they can.
Oh, okay, well now you're pointing the finger.
They have, believe it or not, they have.
Okay, well you just went from Mr. like liberal socialist to back to like stringent MAGA conservative. You got to choose a side. What is it? Do we not point any fingers because everyone makes mistakes? Or do we demonize, dehumanize, and threaten mass deportation through government overreach on undocumented migrants because you falsely believe that they're violent, even though they commit violent crimes at a disproportionately lower rate than U.S. citizens?
What I'm trying to say is that I think we should protect.
Buster, I appreciate you for the dinosaur. I appreciate you for the love. And Giselle, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. Thank you so much. Go ahead.
What I think we should do is we should protect our country, which we are. We're doing a good job, believe it or not.
Okay.
But like,
we should protect our country from threats, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
If there is a migrant in our country, one moment. Mike Teal, thank you so much for the concert. I really appreciate you for the love, Mike. You were awesome, man. Thank you so much for the concert. Everyone, please show some love to Mike. I really appreciate you for that. Thank you so much. So you think that we should protect our country from threats. So if there was an immigrant in our country that had threatened to, like, I don't know, abolish and overturn the Constitution, had tried to rig the outcome of a federal election by installing fake votes for the candidate they wanted, or raped an American woman or was convicted of 34 felonies, would that be a threat to our country that we should protect against?
It in a certain way, probably yes.
Okay. Well, everything I just said about this hypothetical immigrant, right, is true in reality of Donald J. Trump. So you just said that we as a country, right, should protect ourselves from Donald J. Trump.
What I'm saying is that he hasn't done that, you know, in a while. He hasn't
in a
done
while. He hasn't done it in a while. Okay. So people are gonna make mistakes. Okay. Jesus Christ. Oh well. One second. I've just had a curiosity. If we had like a serial killer from Venezuela trying to come into our country, but they did it 30 years ago, would you let him in?
No.
Okay, so your whole argument of it hasn't been a while is just bullshit, and thank you. Goda, thank you for the $5 on PayPal. I really appreciate you for the love. And Andre, thank you for the $10 on Venmo. And Purdy, thank you so much for the 20 gifted subs. I really appreciate you for the love, Purdy. Everyone, please show some love to Purdy in the chat. Thank you so much. And Mike Teal with another concert. Thank you so much, Mike. You guys are going off right now. So anyways, do you see the discrepancy there? So, I mean, you just told me that we shouldn't care that Donald Trump raped a woman, committed 34 felonies, or threatened to coup our country or overturn the Constitution, because all of those things either happened 3, 2, or 30 years ago. But then I ask you about a serial killer from Venezuela that committed his crimes 40 years ago, and it's an automatic no. So why should we be more gracious to Donald Trump than an undocumented migrant? Is it because he's a rich white man that was born in New York?
Well, I mean, if you look from the past 4 years, you know, Joe Biden has been our president, right? But you know, every single time when Donald J. Trump, you know, he got evicted of you know how when he went through those court cases.
Matt, I appreciate you for the singing.
He kept on getting those court things. Well, every single time.
Jasmine, thank you for the $5 on PayPal. I appreciate you for the love, Jasmine. And Sarah, thank you so much for the $20 donation on Venmo. Everybody, please show some love to Sarah. Thank you so much. And Andrea, once again, thank you for the $10. And Leah, thank you for the $2. But I apologize for interrupting you, man. Go ahead.
It's all good. So every single time when Donald Trump has been convicted of a crime or a felony,
Thank you for the money again.
Something comes up with Joe Biden, and like he's trying to cover up something. Basically.
Okay, so you're basically saying that Joe Biden has also committed crimes? Like what?
Like when the police was trying to investigate about with the phone and computer with Joe Biden and his family.
You're talking about Hunter Biden's laptop. So that was determined by the FBI to be real. And then another case with his son, he was convicted for like owning a gun with like prior offenses that made it illegal for him to own a gun, and he got in trouble for that. I have no clue what you're saying. The criminal justice system, was not one directed towards a Republican. Hunter Biden was also convicted, and I have no clue what you're fucking saying. You're actually spewing gibberish out of your mouth, right? So I'm just going to go and leave you with one thing. You did say that an undocumented migrant who had committed felonies, raped a woman, called for the termination of the Constitution, and tried to coup the country would be a threat that we should protect against and not allow in. But yet Donald Trump has done all those things, and you voted him into the Oval Office. I think you need to sit back, reflect upon your actions, and I hope that you listen to the rest of the stream, man, because who knows, maybe in 4 years you'll be a better man.
Maybe.
Hannah, thank you so much for the Chasing the Astronaut. I appreciate you so much for the love, Hannah. Do you have anything else you'd like to share?
I would like to...
You're going on pause. I can't hear you unless you can see me.
Sorry. So I'd say, Dean, you're awesome. I actually like what you do. You know, I'm such a huge fan of you, you know, but even though we're on different sides, I like what you do, and you just keep up the great work, man.
Man, I appreciate you for coming up here and being respectful. And, you know, I hope to see you on the right side of history here in a couple of years, bro.
Yes, sir.
Have a good one. We're going to move on to our next guest here. Guys, if you are in the queue, make sure that you voted for Trump. I thought I'd just repeat because now we have 22,000 people in here. The point of these lives today, maybe tomorrow, I don't know how long I'm going to do them in all honesty, is just to talk to people about why they voted for Trump and start laying the groundwork for 4 years from now. I think that it's important now more than ever to instill like certain behaviors, foundational beliefs, and virtues. And a lot of the people that voted for Trump in this election to never vote for him or someone like him again. Mike, thank you so much for your concert. And Daniela, thank you for the $10 and the 25 cents on PayPal. Everybody, please spam W Mike and W Daniela in the chat. So that's what we're here doing today. LO71 Cowboy, did you vote for Trump? And Patty, thank you for the $5 on Venmo, saying thank you for educated brainwash. I appreciate you for the love, Patty. All right, 71 Cowboy's not here. Let's go to move on to our next guest, guys. We're gonna go ahead and get him up here. So let's see what we got. We got Jerome Williams loading up into the live. And everybody, make sure to go like and watch my recent video as well. I posted a minute-long video talking about why conservatives made the wrong choice. Right, it really goes in line with what we're doing here today. What's up, man? Did you vote for Trump?
Nah, Dan. I just want to say I like you. Kamala 2024, bro. All I gotta say.
I appreciate you for coming up, man. She did lose the election. There is no more Kamala 2024, but I appreciate you for your support, brother. We're gonna move on to our next guest here, y'all. Everybody, just give us a minute. Let's go ahead and get Lydia up in the live. Make sure if you are in the queue that you did vote for Trump. What is going on, Lydia? Did you vote for Trump?
Hi, yes, I did. It was my first time voting.
Really? How old are you?
I'm 18.
Oh wow. So why did you vote for Trump?
So he just aligns with a lot of my beliefs. I'm a Christian.
Okay.
So
like what beliefs does he align with because of your Christianity?
Well, can I go with the other side first and then I'll kind of compare the two? Is that okay?
Well, I mean, I guess you could kind of take it whatever direction you want it, but I
Okay.
mean, it would be nice to hear just like the specific beliefs that you align with Trump on because of your religion, but maybe we could get there.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to compare the two, like how they're different. But anyway, so like on Kamala's side, she is more for like abortion, like full on, have full access. Trump did leave it up to the states to decide on that. So he's not trying to fully ban it,
Alex, thank you for the $10 on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love.
but he does agree that there are some circumstances, like you have mentioned on here before, like, SA and things like that. So
Okay.
I agree
Well,
with
first, about him agreeing with exceptions, that doesn't mean anything if they're not legislated on federally. For instance, Robert E. Lee, one of the main generals of the Confederacy, personally disagreed with slavery. When he had come into ownership of his family's plantation where they owned slaves, he released them and set them free. But he fought as the lead general for the Confederacy, and we'd obviously say that he's pro-slavery. So even though he personally agrees with exceptions, because he doesn't advocate for federal legislation to protect those and codify those in all 50 states, it doesn't matter. Second of all right, let's talk about it. Talk about abortion, right, in relation to your religion. But before we do, I just want to thank Anna. Thank you so much for the $25 on Venmo, saying because of you, I switched from being a Trump supporter to Democrat. Oh my God, W. Anna's in the chat, and thank you for the $25 donation. And Glenn, thank you for the $25 donation as well, saying to keep up the good work. Thank you so much, Anna and Glenn. Everybody, please show Anna and Glenn some love down below. But first, we need to define our terms here. So would you agree with me that a fair definition of pro-life, right, is nothing more than attempting to restrict the will or ability of a woman from getting an abortion?
Yes, I agree with that statement.
Is God pro-life?
I was listening to you earlier and your point on that about how he gives us free will. So if that's where you're leading with this, I can go ahead and answer that question. But
Is God pro-life?
I believe he is, even though we do have free will. Yes.
Okay. So in accordance with like your own worldview, God would not be pro-life because you define pro-life, right, as a belief, right, or an ability to want to restrict a woman's will from getting an abortion. Would God ever want to restrict a woman's will or ability from getting an abortion?
Well, he wouldn't force anyone, obviously,
John, thank you
to
for the $5 on
do
Venmo.
one thing or the other. But
Maya, thank you for the $5 on Venmo.
but
So the answer is no, right?
Well, no, I was getting into a point, if you don't mind. So, like in the Bible, he says like, "Do not murder," and I'm not trying to say that because I was listening to you yesterday as well, and you were comparing it, I think, to Jeffrey Dahmer. Was that what it was?
Can you just tell me, would God ever want to restrict a woman's ability or will from getting an abortion?
Well, no, I guess not. He wouldn't force anyone to do anything. No.
And that was how we defined pro-life, right?
Yes, that's how I would define it.
So God's not pro-life.
Well, I guess you could say that, but that's not what my point is.
Heather, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. And Glory, thank you so much for the $20 donation on PayPal. Thank you so much for the love, Glory. Everyone show some love to Glory down below. Well, now that we've agreed that God's not pro-life and you're a Christian that believes God is a perfect, all-powerful, all-knowing, infinite being, why do you disagree with God?
Okay, I don't disagree with God, but like I was trying to get to, in the Bible it says you should not murder. And in my opinion, I do believe that is murder unless, obviously, because I was hearing some stories yesterday about some people in Texas. I believe and you can correct me if I'm wrong about the information on what I'm about to say. But I believe that the women had a miscarriage and they actually died because they couldn't get everything situated that they needed to. Am I correct on that?
There was 3 women that have died in the last week.
Okay, yes. So, in those types of situations, 100% you should have access to it. And I think that you should.
Well, they don't.
Huh?
They don't. That's the issue. They don't. They don't. With Trump's policy, they don't, and they die. Okay? Same thing with grape victims. There's 12 states where grape is banned outright. And in those 12 states, 22,000 assault victims are denied access to abortion every year. Okay? Right? And the issue here is that it's 60 women a day, and that blood is on your hands and the hands of every other Trump voter. But I was making a point, and you never really responded to it. We had both agreed that God is not pro-life, but you are pro-life. Why do you disagree with God? And when you say that you don't disagree with God, you're lying because you define yourself as pro-life, and you defined God as pro-choice.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to tell anybody what to do. And if it's legal, then there's nothing. I'm not going to go out, like some people do in protests on the side of the road and be like, don't do this. You're going to hell. I'd never do that. So
Okay, never tell. Wait, if you think you don't have the right to tell anyone else what to do, would you thereby also agree that our congressmen and women don't have the right to tell anyone else what to do?
No, but that's why it's left up to the states. So people did vote in it.
Well,
And
Lydia. Okay, when you leave it up to the states, all that you're saying here is that the people in the states have the right to tell other people what they can and can't do with their bodies. So if you don't have the right to make that decision for others, does this also mean that everyone else in your state doesn't have that right either?
That's a very good point. I get where you're going with it. I'm just stating in my personal opinion. And I agree with what you're saying. That's a good point. Okay. I'll give it to you. But, I don't know. Like I said, it's very like the circumstance. And I agree with a lot of the circumstances. I just don't think that abortion should be used as a form of birth control. Which I know it may not be like the largest percent of people that are using it in that way, but I don't think it should be very accessible to people in that regard.
Okay. Well, I think that. Whoa, hey, Michelle, thank you for the $40 donation on PayPal, saying thank you for everything that you do. Much respect from a Gen Xer. Thank you so much for the love, Michelle. Please, everybody, let's get at least 400 W Michelles down below in the comment section. Thank you so much, Michelle. It means the world to me. I really appreciate that. And Lily, thank you for the watermelon. But everyone, please do show some love to Michelle. So let's see if we could work with those two beliefs. First of all, when you say that like people shouldn't use abortion as birth control, do you just mean that people shouldn't like continue to engage in intercourse without a concern for a child and then continue to get abortions?
Yes, that's what I mean. And even if it happens like one time or something, I think,
Okay, yeah, well, let's see what we could do.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's see what we could do here. But first, Hannah, thank you for the $40 donation on Venmo, and Sarah, thank you for the $10 donation on Venmo. Everybody, please show some love to Hannah and Sarah. I do really appreciate the both of you guys. W's for Hannah and W's for Sarah down below in the chat. Thank you guys so much. And Adrienne, thank you for the galaxy. So, on one hand, you don't think that you, nor any other American citizen, has the right to tell women what to do with their bodies. And on the other hand, you don't think that women should be able to access abortion as a form of quote-unquote birth control, right, if they continue to engage in intercourse without a desire to have a kid, etc. Okay, well, I think that we could actually console those two beliefs together, but we need to use an analogy. Would you agree that smoking is bad and can lead to lung cancer and that people shouldn't smoke?
Yes, I agree with that.
Okay. Would you agree that smokers are generally aware of those risks, that smoking can lead to lung cancer and that it is bad for them?
Yes.
And would you also agree that even if someone is aware of those risks, decides to engage in the action of smoking for their entire life and gets lung cancer as a result, that they should still be able to access medical treatment to terminate the life of that cancer?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Phenomenal. So the analogy here would be, right, well, you and me both could probably agree that engaging in unsafe intercourse is bad for a multiplicity of reasons. It's bad for the people that are engaging in the intercourse. It is especially bad for the woman because it's possible that she could get pregnant, and that is painful when it's unwanted and painful in general. Right? Reason X, Y, and Z, we don't need to go through them. Right? We could also agree, right, that intercourse does lead to pregnancy, and we could also agree that if you are, right, a consenting adult and you are aware of these risks, that most people can acknowledge them prior to engaging in intercourse. But if we are to keep analogous outcomes here, even though women engage in intercourse, knowing that it runs the risk of pregnancy, if they get pregnant, they still shouldn't be denied access to abortion, just like the smoker shouldn't be denied access to chemotherapy.
Mm-hmm. And you just remind me of another thing that I believe in. If somebody does get pregnant and they take a test, they know that they're pregnant before like the heartbeat starts or anything like that. You know what? I don't really care that much because I believe that the heartbeat is what you're alive. If you have a heartbeat, if your heart stops, you're dead. You know what I mean?
John, thank you for the $25 on Venmo from a conservative that voted Trump. I'll have to look at your message there, but I appreciate you for the $25, John. Go ahead.
So, anyway, what I was saying is, if they get an abortion before the heartbeat starts, whatever. I don't really care in that regard, but obviously the other situation.
Really? You don't care before the heartbeat starts, but you can understand that life is present from the moment of conception before the heartbeat. So why do you draw the line at the heartbeat?
Well, because like right Right now, if your heart just stopped right now, just out of nowhere, you're gonna be
There,
dead.
the $5 on Venmo. But a
You're
fetus
gonna
won't.
walk away. Huh?
But a fetus won't.
But if fetus won't what?
Won't be dead. For instance, right? Would you agree with me that a fetus, before it has a heartbeat, grows?
Yeah, it grows.
Can dead things grow?
Yeah. Wait, no, they can't.
And organic material, right? It's either alive or dead, right?
Yeah.
Okay, right. So because a fetus is either alive or dead, and dead things can't grow, and a fetus can grow, what does that tell us about a fetus?
I don't know.
It tells us that it's alive. It tells us that it's alive before the heartbeat, but you don't value it, and you think that women should be able to abort it. Okay? Well, what if I say, well, it's alive before 20 to 24 weeks when it has the ability to deploy consciousness, but I don't value it, and I think women should be able to abort it. The only difference there is where we draw the line. And if honestly, right, that line that we draw in our minds is so subjective, right, and it's only really conveyant of what our personal beliefs and expressions of attitudes and emotions are, why don't we let everyone draw that line for themselves?
I don't know. I'm really confused what side you're trying to lead me to. Because now you're trying to make me like, I don't know. But I'm just saying, I do, like you said, I believe that there should be limits. Just like, a doctor can't give you too much medicine or, things like that. Because that's illegal. Like, it can kill you, different things like that. But I just think there needs to be, I think it should be legal for certain circumstances, like I said, but just not fully accessible to everyone that wants to get one that can just hop in a clinic and
I mean, I think your issue with elective abortions has nothing to do with the death of fetus. Like, if I were to hold up like a scan of a fetus that was conceived by grape and a scan of a fetus that wasn't conceived by grape, there's no difference in the life there. The only difference is the attitudes of the mother. Okay, because in one circumstance, right, they consented to intercourse and acknowledged the risk of pregnancy, and the other they didn't. Right. And that's why I genuinely think that a lot of pro-lifers don't really care about the life and the value of the fetus, but rather just care about controlling and punishing the woman because they think that they did something irresponsible, right? But we shouldn't punish people for doing things that we find to be irresponsible at all, right? That's like the worst thing we could possibly do, okay? Like, for instance, we definitely don't do this to cigarette smokers. That's irresponsible as all hell, but we're not going to punish them by not giving them chemotherapy if they get lung cancer. We shouldn't do it with mothers either, because when we're talking about mothers and pregnant women, you're also, by virtue of that fact, implicitly punishing the kid, because then you're forcing an unwanted kid into an unready household, or you're forcing an unwanted kid into the adoption or foster care system that we know lead to very bad consequences, like higher rates of sex abuse, higher rates of drug abuse, higher rates of violent crime, lower rates of education, lower rates of income, right? So maybe we should keep the family dynamic focused around financially well-off adults that consent to starting a family, that desire to raise kids, instead of forcing these young teenagers into becoming parents, all because you think that the mother is deserving of a punishment because you disagree in the context of romance, relationships, and intimacy. Like, no one is telling you that you are in the wrong for wanting to only engage in sex if you want to have a kid. All I'm telling you is I don't think you have the moral authority to tell other people that they're in the wrong and that they're deserving of punishment if they disagree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you had some really good points, and I agree with some of the stuff. Like, I guess not really agree, but I understand completely.
Do you have anything else to add on here before I move on to my next guest?
Yeah, I just have one more thing, because I know the last person that was on here didn't know what the plan was for gas prices, and obviously I feel like a lot of Trump supporters are definitely for that, and it sounds like a great deal. I think everybody can agree that we want cheaper gas, I think.
So how is Donald Trump going to decrease the price of gasoline?
Yeah, so he is planning on increasing the domestic oil and gas production, which is going to lead to a larger supply and could potentially lead to,
Really? Did Biden and Harris decrease the price of gasoline?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it went
up. But they
up.
increased domestic supply more than any president that we've ever had.
I don't know. I thought did they not cut off stuff in the, you can educate me on this. I bet you know way more than me. Let me know.
Sure. All you gotta do is type in EIA, U.S.
Yeah.
production of oil. The first thing that will pop up is a government website that's been tracking our country's domestic production of crude oil. You will see that we've been producing more oil under Biden and Harris than we ever have been before, including under Trump. And Lisa, I appreciate you for the fireworks.
Yeah, okay. Well, but didn't they cut off stuff in the United States that were...
They cut off the Keystone Pipeline. They did. Amanda, thank you for the $2 on Venmo because of a Supreme Court order. But we still were able to be producing more oil than we ever have been before.
Okay.
Imagine that you are an entrepreneur and you have like 100 lines of revenue and they're all generating you $500 a month. And you decide to cut 10 of them off, so you lose $5,000 a month. But then you increase the other 90 tenfold. Right? At the end of the day, all things considered, you're still making more money. So if Biden and Harris, right, cut off the Keystone XL pipeline, right, but approve more drilling permits on federal land, and we're drilling at the highest capacity that we ever have been before, although they cut off the Keystone XL pipeline, we still have the highest level of U.S. crude production of oil that we ever have been before.
Okay. And then can I ask you one more question? Because I don't know the answer to this, and I've been seeing it a lot on here and other social media platforms. Is it okay? Do you have time for me to ask really quick?
Yeah, go for it.
So I've heard a lot of people from, especially the LGBTQ community and everything, saying that there's going to be rights that are taken from them. I'm just really curious what they are talking about because I haven't really heard him mention anything about them. So,
Well, I mean, so apart from Donald Trump calling trans women men, trans men women, and saying that trans women shouldn't be able to compete in women's sports, and also shooting down the Equality Act when he was president that would have ensured equal protections for all people in America, regardless of their sexual orientation, we also have social issues to consider. Like, I'd say the biggest, most pressing and imminent threat to women and members of the LGBTQ plus community in America today, apart from Roe v. Wade being overturned, right, is the socialization of certain attitudes that are conveyant of bigotry. I'd say that Donald Trump has radicalized young men. Donald Trump has radicalized Christian evangelicals right into belief systems that are incredibly detrimental to already marginalized communities. And if you don't believe me and you want evidence, go on Twitter. I mean, all of a sudden, 2 days after Donald Trump was confirmed as a president-elect, you'll see people like Nick Fuentes and people in the alt-right and conservatives as a whole tweeting out "Your body, my choice," tweeting out things like "Women don't deserve rights. They need to go back to the kitchen, make me a sandwich. I'm so glad that we never had our first woman president." I mean, you could probably go into the comment section of a lot of women content creators here on TikTok that do political-based content, and you'll see thousands of people spamming their comment section saying the same things, right? And it is those social attitudes that are incredibly detrimental. And I'd say that is one of the main issues with the second Trump presidency is because he makes that acceptable. In fact, he props it up.
okay. But do you not think those people are probably just like rage baiting and things like that? I don't really think, I mean, some of them probably do
Oh,
have
thank you for the
that.
subscription. Gabby, thank you for the $10 on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love, Gabby. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, Gabby.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. I know you were trying to show appreciation, but
listen. So no, I think that anybody that will say they're rage baiting, they're lying, because I would say in order to come out and call all women shit, say they don't have rights, or say GAY people should be executed, etc., right? It takes hate.
yeah.
And if you have that hate in your soul, and it's currently being propped up by Trump being the president-elect, I don't care if you're quote-unquote rage baiting or not. It's the impact over intent. And Layla,
yeah.
thank you for the glowing jellyfish.
Yeah, and those are awful things to be saying, obviously. I agree that that's way too far and shouldn't be said, but and I understand that those people do support him and everything. He's never said anything, that graphic that I know of. I've never heard him say anything that, they should be, whatever, but...
Those are the social attitudes that are made permissible by him. Yeah. But is there anything else that you want to go over? But for instance, yeah, yes. But is there anything else that you want to go over?
No, that's it. Thank you for having me on.
I appreciate you for coming up, Lydia. We're going to move on to our next guest. If you do want to support me, my Venmo as well as my PayPal are in my bio, but we're going to get our next guest up right now. I thought I'd clarify, once again, just for everyone kind of hanging out with us in here today. Abby, thank you for the $10 on Venmo. I'm so devastated. So am I. I appreciate you for the love. I thought I'd just clarify for everyone new coming in that the point and the goal of this live is to talk to people that already voted for Trump, to lay the groundwork towards foundational shifts in virtues, beliefs, and character for the next 4 years. I'd say like one of the biggest, most pressing issues in America today is a culture war that exists between the right and the left. And right now I'd say that the right is winning. And this is my form of advocacy to push back. What's going on, John? Thank you for
Yo, so what's the issue here? What'd you say?
Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, sir.
All right. Why is that?
He embodies conservative values. The left has gone off the cliff.
The left has gone off the
And he
cliff.
brought back
How so?
down to reality. Many reasons.
$2 on PayPal. Like what?
I mean, Kamala wanted to enact price controls. At least she talked about it.
Trump claimed to enact price controls. Mary,
Trump
thank
will
you for the
not
$10
enact price
on Venmo.
controls. That's a
Appreciate you for the
blunt-faced
love.
lie. That's a blunt-faced lie.
Yeah. What's the $35 cap on insulin then, buddy?
$35. Yeah, I just don't believe you that there's a $35 cap on insulin. No, all right.
Well, I mean, I could tell you what bill it was passed under. It was passed by the Biden-Harris administration in the Inflation Reduction Act, but Trump claimed that he got it passed first during his first 4 years.
Okay, so it was passed under the
Michelle, thank you so much for the
Biden
galaxy.
administration. So let's just stop talking about that there because it was passed under the Biden.
No, the reason that we can't stop talking about it is because when they passed that and claimed that it's something they did, Trump then went on this rage about it was actually something he did during his 4 years. So who are you going to believe, Biden or Trump?
I'm going to believe the administration was passed under. So.
Wait, but
Yeah.
Trump says he passed it under his.
but
Are you saying that you're willing to believe the Democrats over the Republicans, sir?
I'm going to believe the administration that passed the law.
And it was a great one.
logical, but you know,
thank you
you
for
do
the
your
subscription.
thing, Dean.
No. Tell me. No, I as a Democrat am saying that it was passed by the Biden-Harris administration.
I don't really care
The
what you
Republicans.
say.
Oh well, yeah, you don't care what I say because
Yeah.
you're a droid, a MAGA droid. You should only care what the Republicans say, right? And what the RNC and what Trump will tell you. See, it is me, the libbed out DNC paid robot on TikTok, that is telling you is passed by Biden and Harris. If you ask any conservative, including Donald Trump, right, what they'll tell you is that it was originally passed at the end of Trump's term through a enforceable executive order.
Yeah, I don't really
thank
know
you for the
about
$5
that
on
specific
PayPal.
bill. You can bring up specific bills all you want.
So would you call that a price control?
Brother, I don't know about specific bills. First of all, you just told me that was passed.
Would you? I know, but who are you going to believe, me or Trump?
All right. I stipulate whatever you're saying. He enacted a price control on whatever that is. I'm going to stipulate that. Whatever. Kamala Harris said she wants to enact price controls on groceries and that she wants to start regulating social media so we can't have conversations like this.
Ebony, thank you for the $10 on PayPal.
Those were the
Appreciate
two
you for
biggest
love,
issues
Ebony.
in my opinion.
Yeah, well, first of all, it wasn't a
do you want
price
to talk about
control, it was a
abortion? Because
profit
let's get into an
control.
abortion argument.
Well, you don't. So you don't want me to respond to those first 2 points?
You can respond to them, but I really want to talk to you about abortion. But yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Spew your headline leftist your propaganda.
So 30
bullshit.
seconds ago, when I told you that the Biden-Harris administration had signed in an enforceable $35 cap on insulin, but I also told you Trump disagreed, you chose to find me more believable than Trump. But now that I'm going to tell you about Kamala Harris's proposed policy over the last 3 years, all of a sudden, now it is leftist bullshit headlines from the DNC.
Bro,
that's
are you
also
still talking
propaganda.
about this insulin thing? Because whatever I stipulate, move on to the next 2 points. All right, whatever.
Okay, so the reason I didn't move on and I brought up that reflection is because first I was more believable and credible than Trump, but now I'm just a paid propagandist. So I ask you to make up your mind, but about, the quote unquote price control from Harris, right? It was not a price control. It was a profit control, right? To stop price gouging. If price gouging does not exist within private American companies, it cannot possibly be enacted. But when it does exist, it is a good tool. But I would not say that that tool would be applicable now or within the first 4 years in a major amount of industry, because I don't believe today that industries are enacting price gouging. And this is something that is generally accepted. This is something that has been done in medicine forever and has been pushed for with a bipartisan effort.
You say you would-
Rena, I appreciate you for the $5 on Venmo. Thank you so much.
Can you say you disagree with price controls just in general as an economic principle?
Sometimes, like most of the time, I'd say price controls are bad. Sometimes profit controls can be good. It really just depends on what is going to produce the most
So
optimized
you want to
outcome.
regulate how much money businesses are able to make through the free market.
Regulation
Yes.
can be
That's-
good, yes.
So that's
Right? Because you could
we
regulate and
philosophically
control
disagree.
market. No, because you could regulate and
zombie.
control a market to produce the most optimal outcomes. Right?
No, see, that's where we just fundamentally disagree.
Okay, so you think that the free market always produces the? Well, you think that the free market always?
throughout history, the free market.
So you
is
think that the
best
free market always produces the most optimal outcomes?
In the long run, the free market is better than any person can control it. There's no
Great.
person that can control the market better than everyone's individual self-interest. That is an economic principle that has stood the test of time for 300 years.
Awesome. So then I'm going to hedge a bet here that you really don't like Trump because he wants to place controls and regulations on the free market by
He
standing
wants
in.
to enact
Do you mind if I
tariffs.
finish?
Sure, buddy.
That's right, little bro. I'm guessing you'd stand in strong opposition to Trump then because he wants to enact regulations and control
He
on
wants
the
to
free.
enact tariffs. Don't
So
call
you
it
told me that
regulations,
you'd let me
taxes.
finish. Can you show me your self-control, little man? I'll give you a gold star. Thank you for the
Buddy,
subscription.
all right, finish.
5, 4, 3. Thank you. I'm going to go back to what I was saying. So I'm guessing you strong in stand opposition to Trump for wanting to implement regulations and controls on the free market with his strong stance against immigration when immigration into our country is nothing more than a libertarian view of a free flow of labor entry into the market. And when you regulate on immigration at our southern border, you are placing a control and or restriction on that flow of labor entry into the market. You told us that you believe the free market produces the most optimal outcomes in all circumstances, and that has been historically and empirically proven over the last 300 years. So tell me, if you truly hold to this principle, you strongly and vehemently disagree with any immigration controls, right?
All right, so here's my fundamental view on that, because I am more liberal in some senses. That's why I think the Libertarian Party actually makes best art. This is kind of a libertarian argument. Democrat argument is just we want to just have countries unleash their prisoners into our country. Okay, I generally
Thank
agree
you
with
for
the
the
principle.
subscription.
I generally agree with the principle that labor is capital, and the more labor you have in your country, the more you will be able to produce. I generally agree with that principle. I am pro-immigration. What I am anti is mass illegal immigration, where we don't vet these people. They come from poor countries. They come from countries with cartels. They come in here. They commit crimes. There are thousands of immigrants that have came here that are criminals back in their home countries. I'm against that. I generally agree that immigration in general does help our market succeed. You're talking about you're talking about his regulation. I thought you were going to present a better argument. I thought you were going to talk about his tariffs. We can get into a free trade tariff argument. That's something that you may have legs to stand on. You want are you advocating for open borders? Is that seriously what you're doing right now?
No, I'm not, but the libertarian view does. You just told me that
I
you
know,
generally
yeah, and
agree
I
with
think
vetting
that-
processes at the southern border to restrict migration into our country. That is a restriction on the free market. And your reason
No.
for supporting the vetting processes was to do with the fact that some migrants can be violent. Well, it is the case that migrants commit violent crimes at disproportionately lower rates than U.S. citizens. So if anything, you would have to apply the same ideologies to American citizens. You'd say that we should be better
Take
vetting
out
American
first
citizens
of all-
in our
first of
own
all-
country and taking people out because of their disproportionately higher likelihood to commit violent crimes. And I also have it known that when we're talking about crimes at the southern border, like drug trafficking, child trafficking, sex trafficking as a whole, those are disproportionately committed by U.S. citizens because that is who the cartels hire to do the job because they get through the southern border easier. 85% of drugs that are trafficked across that southern border are trafficked by U.S. citizens. And I've never seen a pressure, focus, or policy from Trump to crack down on the citizens at the southern border partaking in those actions. It's always about the violent, heinous, murderous, rapist migrants at the southern border.
I
that
just
he
got this
perceives
man
as
Dean
partaking
to
in those
do
actions.
a pro tough on crime policy. He wants to be tougher on U.S. crime than I want to be. Damn, Dean, I agree with you, brother. Tough on U.S. crime. Yes, sir. We need to be tough on crime in the United States. I totally agree. Thank
Okay, if you think
man.
that we need to be tough on crime in the United States, how come you want a
Absolutely.
34-count
Our
felon
cities
criminal
are
rapist to run
crime-ridden.
the United States?
What's that?
If you want to be tough on crime in the United States, how come you want a 34 count felon criminal rapist to run the United States?
Oh my God, and there it goes. He has no legs to stand on. He goes back to the Trump lawfare allegations, which he has not. There is
So
no.
it's tough on crime when it applies to regular citizens and migrants,
Bro,
but it's
look
nothing more than
into
baseless
those-
lawfare when
look-
it applies to Donald Trump?
Look into those violations, my man. Look into them. You haven't done it. You're spewing these propaganda taglines.
So I haven't looked into the criminal offenses. I haven't done any of my research. I'm just spewing taglines and propaganda. Let me ask you a very simple question. A, what were the 34 felonies that he was convicted of?
I don't know every single one. I don't sit on TikTok and debate all day.
Well, now I know that you haven't looked into them at all because
Listen,
it's not
the
every
majority-
single one. No, John, I'm going to cut you off there.
all right,
Now
buddy.
I know that you haven't looked into
me
them
off.
at all because it's not 34 counts of different crimes. It's 34 counts
Stormy
of the same
Daniels.
crime.
Or
So that
Stormy
is my
Daniels.
issue with you, is you just told me that you haven't looked into all the 34 different crimes. It is 34 counts of the same crime. So you
Yes,
haven't
dude,
done
you got
any
me on a-
research
you got me on a
whatsoever.
speech
You haven't read,
technicality.
you have not
Gotcha.
read
You got me.
the criminal
You got
justice
me.
system court documents at all, but yet you're going to come up here and in front of 27,000 people
Bro.
publicly embarrass yourself by saying that I'm
You
the
got me,
propagandist,
buddy.
that
You're
I'm
winning
the
this
one that
debate.
throws the
You're right.
headlines,
You got
and
me.
I
You
haven't
are the
done my
one winning this
research,
debate.
but you don't even know
I'm a deer
what
in
he was
headlights,
criminally
buddy.
convicted of, but you know it's lawfare. John's
Wait.
tough on crime for all American citizens, but if it applies to Trump, he's not going to do the research. He's not going to read the court documents. He's not even going to learn what felony he was convicted of because he already knows that it's
Oh my
false,
God,
fake,
this
and
is why people don't do
lawfare.
this. You don't let people finish. This is why people don't. Intelligent people don't debate you. You don't. Let
I'll
them
let
finish.
you finish as soon as you could let your girl finish. Sorry, that was terrible.
Oh,
Go ahead.
got me. This guy really gets laid. All right. There is whatever, dude, look into the felony charges. They are all misdemeanors. The New York, fucking whatever. To be honest, I'm not a law. I don't have a law degree. The New York justice system.
How the fuck do you know they're all misdemeanors if you don't even know what the charge is for?
Because I read
You're
the news,
silly.
bro. They were all
Okay,
misdemeanors. The
no.
New York- Oh my God, you gotta
So
let
see,
me
I'm
finish,
more
brother. You
focused
don't
on the
let me
court
finish.
documents than
Okay,
the news.
yep,
If you
yep.
read the court documents, then you know that it could be a misdemeanor. It's falsification of business records.
Never in the
but it's
history of New York
classified
has that case been anything other than a misdemeanor. Not to mention it passed the statute of
And
limitations.
that's false for this reason. And the reason that that's false is because although falsification of business documentation in the state of New York is a misdemeanor, it becomes a Class E felony when it is brought with intent to commit a second crime. And specifically speaking,
What
Donald
is
Trump
that
was
second
convicted
crime?
of the
What is
Class
that
E.
second crime?
One moment, John. And Donald Trump was convicted of the Class E felony of falsification of business records with an intent to sway the outcome of an election. He was convicted by unanimous jury of 12.
Yeah, and there you go. That case right there does not have legs to stand on. Right now, there
You
is.
didn't even know what the case was before I just told you. You're yapping.
I know what it was about. I know
you
the
didn't. I asked
synopsis.
you. I literally asked you what it was about, and you said you didn't know
because I'm not.
I asked you what it was about, and you can't even name what he was charged with.
The Stormy
No,
Daniels
this is
hush money,
bullshit.
bro. Like that's what it was. All right.
No, the charge had nothing to do with Stormy Daniels. The charge had nothing to do with him paying Stormy
It was
Daniels,
the hush
and the
money.
charge all had to do with the falsification of the way that he had paid Stormy Daniels.
Yeah, I know.
No, you don't. No, you don't know because no, you actually don't know because
Oh
you
my
just
God,
made the
dude.
statement that it was about Stormy Daniels and the hush money, and I literally corrected you on live,
Oh my
and
God.
then you say
Any
that you know.
person with a rational brain of I don't want to argue this because the public has made a consensus on this. Any person with a reasonable brain understands that was lawfare. Do you want to debate about something that is more debatable? I will debate you about abortion.
Anyone with a regional
or
okay,
terrorists.
so now your claim is that anyone with a reasonable brain knows that that's lawfare. Let me ask you a question. Would it be
Yes,
fair for me to
bro.
say that all the food in your fridge is spoiled?
What?
Would it be fair for me to say that all the food in your fridge is spoiled?
No,
Why?
dude. Oh my God.
Fucking me, John. Why would that be unfair? Is it possible that would be unfair? Because
my
I
God.
don't know you. I don't know where you live.
ridiculous
I've never been in your house, and I've never opened your fridge.
These ridiculous hypotheticals. Dude, I've looked into the case. This is just so mute because Trump is
Well,
not.
it's funny. It's funny you don't answer because you already see the correlation here. It would be unfair,
No,
unreasonable,
it's
and
just
irrational.
ridiculous
One moment.
hypothetical.
It'd be unfair, unreasonable, irrational for me to say that all the food in your fridge is spoiled because I have no clue where you live. I've never been inside your house, and I've never opened your fridge. Just like it is unfair, unreasonable, and irrational for you to say that all the cases against Donald Trump are nothing more than simple lawfare when you don't know the case. cases. You couldn't name the felony he was convicted of. In fact, you made the implication that he was convicted of different felonies, even though it's 34 counts of the same one. You classified it as a misdemeanor, not knowing that it's a Class C felony with intent to commit a second crime, and you didn't know what the second crime was. So in the same way, I can't call the food in your fridge spoiled. Without education, you can't call it lawfare.
I've already responded to that. You just talk over to people. I know the synopsis. Yes, I don't spend, I go to school and work a job, dude. I don't have every second of my day to look into the legal terms like you probably do. I know the
fucking
synopsis.
30 minutes.
It was Stormy Daniels' hush money, and he was caught on a technicality, falsifying business documents. We don't make people felons in this country for falsifying business documents. That's why it's normally a misdemeanor.
But you call them, you'll call them violent criminal rapist felons just for being from a southern Latin American
No,
country.
absolutely not.
Got it.
Absolutely not. I think Mexico brings some great people, some hardworking people. The problem is when you have open borders, criminals do come. They come too. That's the problem. You can't have open borders. It's simple logic, buddy.
Do we have open borders right now?
Basically, we have 15 million illegal immigrants. No one knows who's coming through our southern border.
Okay.
It's a serious issue
then
now.
we had we had opener, right? That's not even a word, we're going to coin it today. We had opener borders under Trump because daily crossings right now after Biden and Harris's executive order are lower than the rates of crossing that we saw at the end of
Yes,
Trump's
I know
term.
at some points Biden and Harris.
That's at the end of the term. So what you're telling me is that Donald Trump failed to control the southern border. He left them open because of his ineffective policy. In fact, we only had increasing numbers year by year under his admin until the implementation of Title 42 with COVID.
Dude.
Sorry,
to be
John.
honest, I don't even. You can say that again. Make it quick. You just talk over me when I'm talking, and I don't even register what you're saying. Just make
How
it
about
quick.
this?
Say that again.
How about this? I'm going to go ahead and thank my donors because I've been letting that rest because I've been having a lot of fun talking to you. And then after I'm done thanking my donors, I'm going to let you talk as long as you want. Is that fair?
All right. First of all, abortion was not on the ballot. I know that's all in the past. Abortion was not on the ballot in this election. That was a Supreme Court ruling. Donald Trump nor Kamala Harris have any power to overturn a Supreme Court ruling.
Well, she wasn't going to codify federal protections by overturning the literal Supreme Court ruling. She was going to codify federal protections by passing the same protections offered under Roe v. Wade through Congress by legislation.
Never would have gone through the Senate. I know that's what she was planning to do. Never would have passed through the Senate.
Well,
Anyway,
I mean, if your claim is that her policy just wouldn't have passed, why can't I say the same thing about Trump?
what? What about Trump?
Like if you just like see good policy on the other side of the aisle that you don't like, you just say it'll never pass. This critique
No, that
could
would
apply to
we
any
have
candidate
control of
running
the
for
Senate.
public
There's no way
office.
that would have passed the Senate. There's no way.
Elizabeth, thank you for the $20 on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love, Elizabeth. Everybody, please show Elizabeth some love. Massive W's for Elizabeth down below in that chat. Thank you for the $20. I really appreciate you for that. Thank you so much.
All right. Here is the argument for the pro-life argument. I've seen you debate abortion. The argument is, for you, the argument is, when does life have value? My belief is, all life has value. All human life has value. If you are to terminate that human life, that is murder. All human life has value. It doesn't matter how inconvenient that human life is to you. All human life has value. Human life, according to the biological definition, begins at conception. Human life has value. We need to abolish abortion. Human life has value.
Are women with IUDs murderers because IUDs can and do kill conceived human zygotes the moment after conception by not allowing them to implant into the uterine lining?
Yeah, personally, I am against IUD.
That's not what I asked you. I asked you if women with IUDs are murderers.
First of all, I think no one that commits an abortion right now is a murderer. They are subject to their times. They don't know what they're doing.
What's murder?
I can't blame them, just like I don't blame other people through history for their sins that were subject to their times.
Really? So, just to clarify, Nazi soldiers that raped and killed Jewish people in
No. Nazi
concentration
soldiers
camps
were not
weren't
subject to their
murderers?
times. They were no. They were not subject to their times. They were committing horrendous acts that started a world war over. No.
What's
That
the
is-
difference under your worldview, assuming that all human life has equal intrinsic moral value, the difference between a Nazi soldier unaliving a Jewish person and a woman getting an abortion? Because in both
Because-
circumstances, you'd make the plea that where they
Dude, don't
existed,
compare me to a Nazi, man. Don't
it
do
was
that. That's all you can
societally
do.
normalized for the act.
Oh my God, you.
That's a red herring,
horrible
sir.
person. All right.
The reason that's a red herring is because I'm not comparing you to a Nazi. I'm making a direct comparison between your argument for why abortion is wrong and what was upheld in Germany in the 1930s and 40s.
Let me dismantle
You are
your
saying
argument.
that all human life has the same amount of moral intrinsic value, right? But on top of that, you will fail to say that women who get abortions are murderers because it is societally accepted, normalized, and adopted as not immoral in the society in which they live. But the same qualifiers can be applied to Germany in the 1930s and 40s. You cannot predicate what is and isn't murder on the basis of what is and isn't societally accepted. Because I would say, even though it was societally
you're saying the
accepted
same
in
thing over and
30s
over again.
unalive Jewish people, that those Nazis were still murderers.
All right. Are you done saying the same thing over and over again? Okay. So why
At
that
first
is
you
not-
said that I was comparing you to Hitler, so I really had to drill in the point.
Yeah, you did it for like 2 minutes. You just really just kept saying the same thing over and over again. All right. The reason why that is not murder is because Hitler was doing the whole Nazi thing with malicious intent. They were outright murdering people because they thought they were inferior. The people today don't know what they're doing. They don't think that abortion is, there's no malintent. They genuinely are uneducated about what abortion is. And it's honestly very sad from my perspective.
So you think
but
that
I don't
malintent is
fault-
required to qualify murder? So if I drink 3 beers, get in my truck to go to the gas station to get a Snickers, and I take out a family of 5 on the way, I'm not a murderer because I didn't have malintent?
Well, it would not technically be a murder. It would be manslaughter. But yeah, no, I mean it's more broader than that, dude. It's not some. It's you agree that the majority of Americans genuinely in their hearts
You
don't
think
believe-
that you said it's not technically murder, it's manslaughter. Are you predicating the definition of murder off of legality?
bro? Murder.
Because if you're predicating the definition of murder off of legality, well, then you definitely wouldn't say Hitler was a murderer because that shit was not illegal. Okay, so
No,
you can't
I'm
do
not-
that.
dude,
You have to predicate the definition of murder off of something other than
Okay.
the legality that exists today.
Again, you aren't letting me finish. You have control of the live, so you're just able to talk over me. That's fine. I agreed to those terms by joining the live. Are you like? I'm trying to wrap my head around this argument here. Do you fundamentally believe that the majority of the U.S. population, in their own hearts, don't believe that abortion is murder? You believe that, right? You agree with that? The majority
60 to
Americans-
70% of Americans don't believe that abortion is murder.
Right. So that's why they're a product of their times. It's been legal for hundreds of years. It's really sad, but they genuinely don't know. They aren't educated. They haven't watched a fetus get killed in the womb. It's really, really sad stuff, and they haven't watched it. It's
So if
not
they
their
are
fault.
educated on it,
What?
should they be held accountable then?
I think the practitioners should be held accountable.
No,
yes.
if the woman is educated on it, should she be classified as a murderer?
She's gonna
If she
get off on a
knows that she's killing
technicality.
a
Yeah, I
human life.
mean, there's she's gonna like.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
not
So,
gonna
so
hold-
here's my argument. You're saying
You're trying
once
to say
the
I
woman
wanna
is
put people
exposed.
that
One
want-
moment,
dude.
One-
no. Let me
one
finish
moment.
because I know what you're gonna say. You're trying to
So
equate
then you
this.
should probably let me speak.
Dude, you're trying to equate this that I'm saying that I think people that have an abortion should go to jail, and I am not saying that.
We're not
So-
going to get there.
all right,
Here's my
now go
argument.
ahead.
So you just told us that if a woman is informed that an abortion is killing a unique human life, well, then it is the case that you'd classify them as a murderer, either out of malintent.
That
or
is not
negligence.
the case.
Okay, so then what is your
explain
qualifications
that.
for murder?
Well, the U.S. legal definition is intent. Murder does have to have intent. But, dude, you're missing the broader picture here. You're trying to
No,
focus.
I want to know what your qualifications are for murder. We've already went over how the current legal code is not sufficient to qualify murder, because if it didn't exist and I unalived your mother, I would still be a murderer. So what are your qualifications for murder?
My qualifications for murder, morally, like, dude, this is so, you're trying to hold your life on a tiny
I'm
little.
asking you to define your
technicality of belief.
terms.
Defining my terms.
Wait, are you-
murder
are-
is
are-
intentionally ending a life.
Is a snowflake scared of, okay, intentionally ending a life. That is murder. Thank you so much. So, if a woman gets an IUD, understands that IUD can intentionally end
They
human
don't
life,
know what
still.
they're doing. I'm thinking in the broader philosophical sense. You're stuck on these tiny little talking
I'm going
points.
to ask you not to interrupt me. If you interrupt me, I'm going to go ahead and move on.
Bro, you interrupt me all the time. Go ahead.
Thank you. So right now there's 30,000 people watching this live. Let's assume half of them are women, and let's assume a quarter of them have IUDs. Right now,
Crazy
I'm
assumption.
informing everybody watching this live that IUDs can and do kill unique human lives by allowing conception to occur, than by nearly or simply preventing implantation into the uterine lining, starving it to death. Right? So now, every single one of the women with an IUD in my chat knows the next time they engage in intercourse and continue to engage in intercourse, it can/will result in the death of a unique human life. Should all of the women in my chat that are aware of that fact be classified as murderers if they continue to engage in intercourse while having that IUD?
No, because on a philosophical sense, they don't know what they're doing, man. I'm pleading with you, and you're not.
Holy,
You're not
okay.
trying. I know.
So
you
now
just,
it's going from like ignorance into misogyny. Now you're just like,
No,
the women
the
are
majority
so
of men
dumb,
don't
even
either.
though
The
they
majority
know
of
it,
people
they
know.
shouldn't be held accountable. Like now it's just misogyny. I'm not even lying.
the
It's
majority
literally
of
gone
men don't
into
either.
fucking.
Anyone that's
thank you so
pro-abortion-
much for the subscription. Well, now you're now you're moving the goalpost, because I'm simply
let me finish
referring
now?
to the no. Because
Yeah,
I'm simply
exactly.
referring to the women with IUDs in my chat right now today that are completely and totally aware of the fact that IUDs can and do kill unique human lives.
IUDs can't. Okay, dude. There's.
You know what? Fuck it. We're going to make it even crazier. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a woman with an IUD, and the next time you engage in intercourse, you're going to make sure that it unalives that unique human zygote. Put a 1 in the chat if you're going to do that. Should everyone that is
I know
spamming
you want-
1 in my chat right now be classified as a murderer, John?
I know you won't understand this right now, you yourself, and I know you don't understand this, but you are making a mockery out of what you literally just said yourself is ending a human life. I think that is really morally wrong and sad. That's
Dude,
my
it's a fucking unicellular organism. I couldn't care less.
Yeah, exactly. That's where we philosophically disagree, man.
So then you would agree
Yeah.
that all the women spamming 1 in the chat are murderers, right?
I believe they don't know what they're doing, and that's just
okay, John.
That's the times we live in.
John, you got to dip, because they're like literally, we just went over and hashed it all out, and specifically the people spamming 1 in my chat are spamming 1 because next time they engage in intercourse, they're gonna make sure that unicellular zygote dies because of them and their IUD. Like, oh my god, like what more information has to be provided to the people spamming 1 in my chat for them to
Because
be
it's
classified
not
as
resonating
murderers?
with them. It's not resonating. And it's not resonating with you. And it's honestly
Then what is
really sad.
required? What is required for it to be sufficiently defined as murder? Like what else? What else has to be clear and present within the people spamming 1 in the chat for you to call them murderers?
It's a cultural thing. It's something that you just don't understand right now. I don't fault you, Dean. You know, you think that you can end human life just because it's smaller than you. I think all human life has value. It's just we philosophically disagree.
What would you say, right, to the white supremacists in the early 19th and 20th century that would end the life of black people under the same scope that you are attempting to define women that get abortions as today?
No, those are horrible people because they lived past the Civil War. And
But there was children brought up on those plantations, raised by their racist white parents, that were taught and indoctrinated into the belief that only quote unquote white life was valuable and non-white life was not valuable. However, we would obviously still call them murderers, and that goes without explanation. But the same idea of culture, societalization, and widespread indoctrination could apply. Right? And that's why I don't think that intention, culture, or societalization will ever be relevant in the determination of what is and isn't murder. The only possible explanation that's left to define why we don't think that women with IUDs that kill unicellular humans are murderers is because we do not attribute nearly sufficient value to the life of a fetus, to the life of a human zygote, for it to constitute murder in the first place. Right? You're forcing that belief on yourself.
No, it's the truth. All human life has value. All human life is entitled to the right to life.
All right. Man.
All human life, man.
All right. Is it murder to pull the plug on brain dead patients?
Again, you go down these moral hypotheticals.
That's not a hypothetical. We do it every day. First of all, Ella, thank you so much for the $2 on Venmo. I really appreciate you for the love, Ella. Brittany, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. Thank you, Brittany. Lindsay, thank you for the $10 on Venmo. Diana with the $30 on Venmo. Everybody show Diana some love down below in that chat. Thank you so much for the love, Diana. Kyle, thank you for the $10 on Venmo. Dev with the $10 on Venmo. Leslie with a 2. Andrea with a 5. And Kalia with a $10. And Donald with a $20 on Venmo. And Kendra with a $25 on Venmo. Anu with a 5. Elizabeth with a 5. And Shariah with a $25 on Venmo as well. Thank you all so much for the love on Venmo. Please show some love to our donors here today. You guys have just been so incredibly kind. Seriously, I mean that. Then, of course, Michael, I'd like to also thank you for the $20 on PayPal. Monica with the $20 on PayPal. Thank you, Michael and Monica. You guys are phenomenal. Massive W's down below in the chat. What is going on, Chris? Did you vote for Trump?
Yo, hello.
Hey, what's up, man? Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, I did.
All right. Why did you
But
do that?
I wasn't sure. Like, why would you vote for Kamala? What has she done better than Trump did?
Well, sure. The reason I'd say that conservatives made a wrong decision in the last election had to do with a multiplicity of facts. First, we'll start off with the economy. Evan, thank you for the $25 on Venmo. Let's get some W Evans down below. Thank you for the $25. To start off with economy, the economy would have been sufficiently better if Kamala Harris was elected as the next president of our country. Her tax policy was built for you and other average Americans. It was only supposed to benefit you to reduce income inequities. Socially speaking, we'd say that restoring the protections offered under Roe v. Wade would have been very important to ensure all 170 million American women and girls a right to access abortion, especially the 22,000 great victims that are denied access to abortion every single year. And I'm sure that we could talk about other things as well, such as immigration, foreign policy, domestic policy, etc.
So, what exactly did Trump do to take women's rights away that these women are scared of?
Yeah, sure. He elected 3 justices to the Supreme Court before he left office last time, and which led them to overturning Roe v. Wade in 2021, and which he then made explicitly clear was an achievement and success of his own, and he was the one that set that plan in motion. Isabella, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. And Jake, thank you for the $30 on Venmo, bro. Everyone show some love to Jake. And Kalani, thank you for the $25 on PayPal. Show some love to Jake and Kalani. And Darius, thank you so much for the $10 on Venmo. And Ashley, thank you for the $5 on Venmo.
What do you think about like capitalism? Like,
Capitalism can be fine under like certain circumstances, such as social democracy. Kamala Harris is a capitalist.
that's pretty much it. I didn't have anything to ask you. Just wanted to know your point of view on why you voted for Kamala.
Okay, thanks, Chris. Yeah, I don't know, guys. Maybe there's a first fundamental disagreement between me and a bunch of people in the chat. I am a capitalist under certain conditions. Social democracy is all right. We're looking at Nordic countries. That's where social democracy is, high levels of like economic ability to grow, etc. Thank you so much for the Galaxy. I appreciate you for that. Yo, Jack! Oh my God, Jack with a $50 donation on Venmo saying you are a gym. Jack, I love you. Thank you so much for the $50 donation. Everybody, please spam some W Jacks down below. That is seriously so kind of you, man. W Jacks down below in the chat. But what's up, Jake, man? Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
All right. Why's that?
So, but before we get into it, I just wanted to first start off and say I was in a live with Parker last night, your buddy. And I just
Siggy, thank you for the scarecrow. I appreciate you for the love, Siggy. Everybody show Siggy some love. And Danessa, thank you for the $5 donation on PayPal.
Yeah, so I was in a live last night with your boy Parker and stuff, and I just want to say the same thing to you. I said to him, politically, we do not align at all, but I'm not going to be like that John kid that was in here. I have a massive amount of respect for the work that you do for your party and stuff like that, and as it is your American right and as it is mine to have my own opinion. So I am a Christian, I am a believer, I believe in peace, and I believe in love thy neighbor. So, I just want to say that I have massive amounts of respect for what you do and stuff like that for your party as it is your right. And I just want to say that before we start.
I appreciate it, man. Did you already talk to Parker about these things?
I did talk to Parker about one topic, but I wanted to ask you as well.
Okay, so why did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, so the first thing I really wanted to say is I'm like a lot of this like rhetoric right now, like, okay, America failed women. America didn't do this for women. They let down women and stuff, etc. I've been seeing that a lot of that recently.
They did.
My mother, my sister, proud Trump voters. Like, why is their vote?
Clarence, thank you for the $2 on Venmo.
why is their vote being sort of cast down? Like, why? How?
I'll tell you. Because at the end of the day, we live in a patriarchy where there is a massive separation and disconnect between majority of men and majority of women. The struggle and the fight of feminism for the hundreds of years has always been, how do we convince and convey the negative experiences of women to the men around us, right? But when we see so many women in today's society voting for Trump, voting against their own interests, voting against the interests of other women, it's surprising because you would expect them to understand.
Yeah. So another
Matilda,
thing,
I appreciate you for the $20 on Venmo. Thank you so much for the love, Maltesa. Thank you so much for the $20. I really appreciate you for that.
Yeah, I know. I understand completely where you're coming from. As I said before, you're completely entitled to think what you want to think. That's the great part about being an American. But I do find it a little disrespectful, some of that rhetoric. My mother, sister, great hardworking people that were proud to vote for Trump. And I find it disrespectful that they cast their vote as their American right for who they want to. And all this
I think that
rhetoric.
America has even failed them. I think America has failed your mother. America has failed your sister. America has failed the women in your family. The only difference is they may not ever learn. They may not ever see how America has failed them, or it is possible that they will discover how America has failed them, but it will be too late.
Understood. And so that leads me to my next point as well. When Biden got elected in 2020, I wasn't of age to vote. But so my parents have voted for Trump back in 2016. Everybody in my family voted for Trump back in 2020. I was not of age to vote yet. I'm 21 years old. I was obviously not of age at the time to vote in Biden's run with Trump. But I didn't necessarily just want to be like, oh, well, my parents and family voted for Trump the first time. So
why did you?
Yeah, I'm going to get to that. But I didn't necessarily want to be like, oh, my family and parents voted for Trump, so I'm just going to do that in 2024 if he decides to run again, or the Republican candidate, whoever it was. I did my own research. I had my own, ways of thinking about it. And eventually, I'm now proud to say that I did vote for Trump.
Why?
So the first thing is, I don't understand. Every time I try to
I'm so
talk,
sorry, man. 1 second. Isabella, thank you for the $15 on Venmo. I really appreciate you for the love, Isabella. Everybody, please show some love to Isabella in the chat for the $15 donation. Thank you so much. But go ahead. Why did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, so every time I try to talk to somebody that is on the Democratic side, whether they voted for VP Harris or Biden, it's always, well, Trump this, Trump that, Trump this, Trump that. I'm a human being. I'm a mature human being with a good job. I've done well for myself. I'm not an idiot. I'm not a fool. Okay, gas prices are way more than they were when Trump was president. Food, as Kamala Harris and Tim Walz have said in their own rallies and events, is way more. Kamala Harris, sorry, I don't want to call her the wrong name. That's not what I'm trying to be. If I did call her the wrong name, I promise it wasn't on purpose. Yeah, VP Harris, I'll just say that. It's not on purpose, man. And when Brett Baer asked her the other day on her Fox News interview, there is immigrants flooding the country. She resorts to say, Trump did this with a bill. He called his buddies in Congress and said, don't do this with a bill. It's always Trump this, Trump that, Trump this, Trump that. And to be honest, man, when I was doing my whole research for it, that really turned me off. Okay, Kamala, VP Harris, and Tim Walz have both stated in their rallies, in their events, prices are up. We cannot afford 4 years of this. Gas prices are up. Again, I'm not a fool. It doesn't take a genius to realize is gas prices are up. Israel is at war. It's all over the news. Russia invades Ukraine in 2021 as soon as Trump leaves. Why? And I'm just asking you as a genuine, respectful, political, somebody talking to you, no disrespect to you at all. Why, why is this? As somebody who did their own research and is not just some MAGA dude who's going to treat you like that John dude did, why on earth is it so different now?
Great question. First, I would like to validate your claims that you've done your own research. Shannon, thank you for the $5 donation on Venmo. With one question.
Yeah.
Prices have gone up. Inflation has occurred under the Biden-Harris administration. My question to you would be, how did the Biden-Harris administration cause inflation?
Well, I didn't bring up inflation. I understand that a president doesn't really cause inflation,
You
and I
brought
understand
up the prices of food have skyrocketed. You brought up the price of gasoline, groceries,
the price
etc. That is inflation.
Yeah,
So
the price.
how did the Biden-Harris administration cause inflation?
Yeah, so the price of gasoline, I mean, they obviously cut off the Keystone Pipeline Biden's first day getting into office.
Okay.
And look, I think
you want to talk about that, or do you have any other things?
Yeah, I think that their propositions on, cutting off oil supply coming from the United States and domestically, and I know you're going to say I've been told so many times, I've had so many people debunk it. Oh, well, Biden and Harris actually increased oil supply the most. If you go to this website,
$5.
I've heard that argument many times. I simply don't understand why gas prices. Again, this is me asking you. I simply don't understand why gas prices are.
You just did debunk your own argument. So the reason I asked you how the Biden-Harris administration caused inflation is because things can happen in our country and in the world as a whole outside of the influence of the executive branch of our government. And seemingly all Americans have come to understand this fact. But when it comes to the Biden-Harris administration, because of the millions and millions and millions of dollars that the RNC has dumped into advertising the economic turmoils in our country over the last 4 years that was caused by the pandemic, is it being caused by the Biden-Harris administration, we see that brain stops working. So what caused the inflation in our country over the last 4 years had nothing to do with the Biden-Harris administration, and it had all to do with the pandemic. The pandemic didn't just cause inflation in America. The pandemic also caused inflation in every single other country on the face of the earth. However, the U.S. had the quickest response from the inflation onset by COVID out of any other country in the G7. Now, you'd also talked about gas prices. I asked you how the Biden-Harris administration caused an increase in the price of gasoline, and you said by shutting down the Keystone XL. First of all, the Keystone XL pipeline was not U.S. crude production of oil. The Keystone XL pipeline was Canada crude production of oil. It was a Canadian pipeline. Second of all, it was not shut down by the Biden-Harris administration. It was shut down by the U.S. Supreme Court with justices elected by Trump and enforced by the Biden-Harris administration. And fourth of all, we still have the highest amount of crude U.S. production of oil that we've ever had as a country ever before. You're making the argument that price went up because they cut off this pipeline that wasn't even in effect, not producing oil, causing our supply to decrease. And that's what caused prices to go up. Well, that's simply false. We have never produced more oil as a country than we have under Biden and Harris, and that's a fact. Also, you're on pause, man. I can't hear you unless you see me.
All right, yeah.
In the meantime, guys, I have a couple donors to thank here. Brittany, I'd like to thank you for the $5 donation on Venmo. Justin, thank you for the $5 donation on Venmo as well, saying are my transactions going through? They sure are, man. I appreciate you. Caitlin, thank you so much for the $10 donation on Venmo. She says, bringing me so much joy while watching MAGA fumble over their words. Bridget with another $5. Thank you so much. And Justin, thank you for the $20 donation on Venmo. Megan with the $5 on Venmo. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for the glowing jellyfish as well. Shannon with the $5. Audrey with the $5. Isabella with a $15. Thank you so much. You guys are absolutely phenomenal. Thank you all so much for the love. You guys have been showing so much love recently, and just know that it means the world to me. And then I'd also like to thank Michelle for the $15 donation on PayPal, Rian and Denisa with a $5 donation, and Kalani once again with a $25 donation. You guys are awesome, but go ahead, man.
Yeah, no, I think you're super intelligent with your points and stuff like that, but my main point of asking is why, to this day, when last year, Christmas time, etc., when I'm still going to the grocery store, is eggs and ground beef and all this stuff $7.50. I mean, I completely get the point. I completely get the point of COVID and stuff like that. I'm not arguing with that. I actually agree that people are a little harsh on President Biden sometimes for inheriting a freaking pandemic that, ended a lot of people's lives. And as somebody who, almost passed away from COVID, I'm not going to argue with you about the stuff of COVID.
Subscription. I understand what you're asking. See, now this is where education is really important. The reason why prices are so high is because inflation is not sedentary and related to the actual price of a good. Inflation describes the increase in the pricing of a good. So when we say things like COVID caused record high levels of inflation, but that inflation has dwindled and we're back to a sustainable rate, all that we're saying is that the pricing of goods exponentially increased by the pandemic, but now we've slowed that rate of change. Okay?
Okay, yeah.
And there's nothing that we could do to regress that rate of change because deflation is very bad for an economy, and deflation can cause a recession. I appreciate you for the galaxy. And that's why a lot of countries in the world right now experience that same level of inflation and still have those high prices. It's because they had to choose between mass inflation or recession. And objectively speaking, inflation is going to be the better of those two options. And the only thing that we could do is try to limit the amount of inflation that we still have until this day, and then build up our real median wages around that to make our economy more sustainable for the average American. And a part of that is giving more purchasing power to the average American to account for that level of inflation. That's what Kamala Harris was going to do with her tax cuts that only benefited members of the low and middle class. But guess what? She lost because people don't know about this. Trump won, and now we are going to see those income inequities increase.
Yeah, I mean, look, I get it. I do. Personally, look, I mean, we've talked about it. The past 3.5 years, I mean, like you said, inflation is being caused, whether it's by COVID, this or that, etc. Inflation is being caused. So, as somebody who does own a business, I'm, ready to see a change. And look, unfortunately, we don't agree on the political spectrum. Like I said, I hope you see me as I've been nothing but respectful to you so far, and just acknowledging you as, two human beings having a conversation. But we're not going to, I mean, that's the part I'm just going to be looking for on Donald Trump's side, and to change and to get rid of these prices that we're seeing now and stuff like that. And look, I'll be the first to tell you right now, I'm not some puppet that's just going to listen to anyone. If Donald Trump cannot get this done, I will not be falling for this BS in 2028. I'm just because my family is Republicans and stuff like this and stuff like that. I know you said earlier your goal is to start to get the message out there for 2028 now. I respect that, and I'm going to tell you straight up, if Donald
for the galaxy.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you straight up, as you said, that was your message before, to start the 2028 promotion now, if Donald Trump it just completely lied to my face and doesn't get anything done in terms of that over the next 3.5 years, because you said it before, Tim Walz said it before, VP Harris, I'll just call her that because I don't want to be disrespectful on purpose, but if Trump doesn't get it done, then you know what, I'm not going to fall for the BS in 2028, but for now.
That's a scary thing, is because the economy will most likely get better. I think he's going to actively hurt it with his tariffs, and income inequities will suck. But right now we have economic trends that are pretty decent. So, and we'll just see what his tariffs do to that. But what I really don't want to happen, all right, is the economic trends continue from Biden and Harris the same way they continued from Obama, and then Trump just rides their coattails. I'm gonna be honest. If Hillary had won 2016, Trump would not be running right now. If Hillary had won 2016, there'd be a dynasty of Democrats for the next 20 years, dude. But,
I understand.
But maybe we need some bipartisanship. But anyways, what's going on, Parker? How you doing?
What's up? What is this person saying? I haven't heard it all.
No, we're just talking. I think we kind of found the end of our conversation, Jake. Was there anything else that you wanted to go over?
Yeah, Parker, I was in your live last night, man.
Awesome. Well,
Appreciate it.
I appreciate you for coming up, man. We're going to move on to our next guest.
Hey, I appreciate all you guys do, man. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Jake. All right, we're going to go to get our next guest up in here. Parker, I do really need to use the restroom, so
yes, I know you do.
Do you have access to the guest box?
Yeah, I do.
Great. Well, chat, for the 27,000 people in here, I'm going to go ahead and just leave for 30 seconds so we could go pee, but I guess before we do that, we're going to go and help get Parker guest up in here. If you voted for Trump and you want to have a
Charlie, you
conversation,
voting Trump? Or did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, but I actually have something to say. I was one
How
of
old
the
are you?
people. I'm 18.
What's your birth year?
2005.
What month?
November. I'm 19 now. What?
You just said 18 and then 19.
No.
What?
All right, we're just going to go to get our next guest up in here.
Dude, he could have said it right if he said it was in the future.
So true, so real.
David, did you vote for Trump?
All I want to ask is about abortion.
Is British. We're going to move on to our next guest here. Guys, if you are in the queue, make sure that you voted for Trump. Make sure that you voted for Trump. We're just looking to have some conversations, lay the groundwork for better beliefs in 4 years.
Ryan, did you vote for Trump?
Yes, sir.
How old are you?
I'm 25.
I'll be back.
For sure. Yeah, so why'd you vote for him?
Because I wasn't kind of an adult going into college around that time whenever he won the first time. And I honestly wasn't really that terrible. I don't really agree that he's a good person, but no politician's a good person. Most of our presidents are awful. Even our first president, George Washington, had slave teeth in his mouth. So I mean, it's weird that everyone thinks Trump's like the devil, but
held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman.
Yeah,
he sent
but-
false slates of electors to electoral college to cast Trump votes when he didn't win to try to steal the election. He called for a complete and total shutdown of Muslims into the country. He said yeah to Howard Stern calling his daughter a piece of ass. He bragged about walking in changing rooms of naked teenage girls because he quote unquote owns the place. Now, he is a bad person. We need to be very clear with the fact that he's a bad person. Now, you could say that other politicians have bad qualities about them, but nothing I'm saying anywhere near what we see with Donald Trump here. Right? Name me 2 things that are bad about Kamala Harris insofar that they're so bad that you'd vote for Donald Trump over Kamala Harris.
Because she was a part of the administration the past 4 years that didn't really make my life a lot easier. I mean, I know that COVID, the last person talked about, had no help with that. COVID made everyone's lives completely awful, which made the Biden administration kind of suffer a lot of front for that.
But Ryan, what did she do? What did she do that was so bad? That was so much worse than all those things I just mentioned about Trump.
But what could she have done? She's VP. She doesn't really have a lot of power.
Oh, she did the most of any vice president ever, the most tie-breaking votes of any vice president. Sounds like you don't know what she did, though.
No, but I mean, but she doesn't have a lot of power to do a lot of things that could affect.
Can you name what she did that you disagree with that was so bad that you're going to vote for someone held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman, right, and all those other things?
I mean, okay, you got to think about it this way. I didn't vote for him and overlook that thing. I looked at both of them and what they could do for me personally in my life as an American. Trump's a bad person, but so is JFK, and he's one of the most beloved presidents of all time.
This is just irrelevant to the point.
But you know what I mean? People want to demonize Trump for things that he did when every single person that's been in power has done horrible things.
Kamala, what has she done? You still can't mention to me what Kamala did. What did she do?
No.
The issue here, Ryan, is that people in power.
Why do we have to do this? Why do we have to?
Ryan, the thing is, you don't know what she's done.
What could she have done? Whenever you think about when she was doing this presidential race for the last 100 days, and they were, she's been touring all over the country, saying all these things.
Name one thing she's done that's bad.
I don't think she's not doing anything. She's not like a demon. Okay, all these Republicans saying she's like a horrible person and all this stuff. I don't think she's like a terrible person saying that she slept her way up to the top. All of those terrible things are stupid. Those are all Republicans.
So here's the thing, Ryan. You just got done telling us that all politicians in current positions of power are very bad people that have done terrible things. And this is how you reconcile your vote for Trump, even though you recognize the terrible things that he's done. But now you're actively explaining to us how Kamala Harris could have been in that same position of power, and she hasn't done those terrible things.
But I'm more focused on what she would have done for me personally with the economy, with foreign affairs, with I don't want to be. I don't want
Trump gonna do for you that Kamala Harris wouldn't have.
Well, he's already been in office. So if we just go back to when he was in office, and if he does the exact same things, I don't think it would be a problem.
In his first 4 years that separated him from the Biden-Harris administration and makes him the obviously better pick?
I just reflect on my personal life. I mean, I guess he made overall decisions for the American government.
That's a fundamental error. That is a fundamental error. Okay, imagine this. So you were alive in 2017 to 2020. You reflect on your personal life. You thought it was good. But how about we conceive of a hypothetical person living in the middle of Louisiana that ran through 4 jobs. Their bills went through the roof. They couldn't pay their rent. They were unemployed for half of their term. All of a sudden, when they're reflecting on their personal life, they're going to associate very negative stigmas with Trump. Right? But who's right and who's wrong? Right?
But
so that's why we can't just look at the quality and experience of your life during his term to determine how good of a president he was, because external variables can have an impact on that. But we rather have to look at the direct actions engaged in by the administration. Okay? Because if we just want to make this base level assumption that anything that happens in the country is to necessarily blame on the president, well, then I could blame the 14.8% record high level of unemployment seen in the country at the end of Trump's term in April of 2020 on who? On Trump. So this is why we have to have a conversation about policy, a conversation about executive orders, a conversation about what they're actually going to do in the Oval Office, not just how you experienced life yourself.
Because, I mean, if you brought up that guy in Louisiana that went through a hard time during Trump's administration, all that kind of stuff, I believe the average American, the average Joe, had a better life during Trump's term. Like we had 400.
Well, you have to tell me how Trump caused them to have a better life, or how Biden-Harris caused them to have a worse one.
Okay, Trump increased manufacturing jobs by like 500,000, jobs by like 6.
How did he do that?
Probably by doing internal American affairs with fracking and manufacturing.
More fracking,
make
more
stuff inside.
U.S. crude production of oil means more manufacturing jobs. First of all, you're just fundamentally wrong. Fracking is a more efficient way to get oil that requires less people, so it actually cuts production jobs of oil. That's why we've seen a decline of jobs within the oil sector in America since the 70s and 80s, because the processes have gotten more efficient. But even if it was to be the case that more U.S. crude production of oil means more manufacturing jobs, there was quite literally more U.S. production of oil under the Biden-Harris administration compared to Trump's term.
But manufacturing jobs, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't that like Amazon and stuff like that?
Manufacturing jobs can mean so many things. You made the claim that Donald Trump's economy was sufficiently better than Biden and Harris's because he made all of these new jobs in America. Tell me what he did to cause those jobs to be created. If you don't know, just say that.
I don't know specifically like what exact laws he passed and executive orders he pushed through to do that, but the actual facts and stuff are there.
Thank you for the galaxy. So then you will admit and concede and agree that you were operating off of the base assumption that anything that happens in the country was caused by the president, right?
There's a correlation. I mean, the president doesn't have no power. He has power.
Does anything that happens in the American economy on a macro scale, is it caused by the president? Yes or no?
It can be.
It can be, but is it always?
No.
So then how do we determine what happens in the economy if it's caused or not caused by the president? How do we make that determination?
I guess looking into like nitty-gritty details.
And would you admit that you have not sufficiently looked into the quote-unquote nitty-gritty details or his policy to make that determination that it was caused by him?
Comparatively, like with the way that you educate yourself and I educate myself, you clearly know 100 times more than me.
Well, so what about you? How will you admit, agree, and concede that you have not looked into those nitty-gritty details to come to the conclusion that Trump caused those things?
Sure.
Okay, so then you admit that that's a baseless assumption.
Oh, well, okay. I'm not going to say that like Trump's economy is like was like amazingly better than Biden's because Trump was like so much better than Biden. I think Biden's economy got screwed over by COVID, which really sucks. That does suck a lot because like he didn't really have a fighting chance to prove himself against Trump that he's a better option, because people like Republicans that are super MAGA can just be like Biden sucks, and it's the proof with the economy.
It's also that people just have short-term memory loss. Like it is the case that like it was terrible at the end of Trump's administration as it relates to COVID, but for some reason a lot of people think that Trump was president from 2016 to 2020, right? Like they don't understand that Trump was president for like a whole year of COVID.
Yeah, people do forget that.
Like I don't know why people completely forget that, right? And actually, I think that's a huge driver of the votes, right? Is going to be just the economic scenario, because people just say, "Oh, I'm not doing good right now. I don't think inflation is good," and they blame it immediately on the incumbent president, right? Which is Biden in this situation, or by proxy, Kamala Harris, because she's a part of the administration.
Thank you for the whale dive. And Ashley, thank you for the $25 donation on Venmo. Thank you for the $25 donation, Ashley. Let's show some love to Ashley down below. Keegan, thank you for the $5. McKenna with the $5, and Mia with the $5 as well. You guys are great. Thank you guys so much.
Justin, thank you for the $10. Goda, thank you so much. I appreciate the $5.17. And then Wasn't Me, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. Ryan, are you there?
Yep.
Yeah, so like, if you don't know enough to be able to grant like that Trump caused this, why do you vote for him because of that?
Like I said, it's honestly just like how much it's going to affect my personal life. And with during the past 4 years, I mean, I'm not going to lie, like it's just been a lot of just.
Bro, we just went over this. I'm so sorry, man. I'm honestly like, Ryan, I don't think you could be safe. We've offered the education. I've explained to you how we can't make these baseless assumptions without a predication of what their policy was or how it caused these things, right? And you even conceded to me that that's something that you haven't done, but you still sit here and you tell me that that is a genuine, rational thought process.
But like, listen, if the last 4 years have been kind of wishy-washy in my life,
you're just dying on the hill. I'm moving on. Bye.
All right.
Like, I mean, come on. We're just gonna go to move on to the next guest here, y'all. Everyone, just give us a minute. Yeah. Hi, Kevin. Did you vote for Trump?
Do you have fucking food in your thing?
Hello. Hi. Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
All right. Why's that?
I think his economic policies are amazing.
Like what?
I can't do it. I can't do this. Parker and Dean, you're amazing. I support you guys so much, and you're educating the public so much, and I respect you guys so much for this.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Kevin. Have a great day.
I appreciate you, Kevin, but I don't think it's an appropriate time to like LARP or troll as a Trump supporter. But I appreciate you for the love. Hey, did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 18.
Okay. So why did you vote for Trump?
Wait, first of all, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you think if Trump ends both of the wars that Biden started, do you think it's good that he got elected?
So I'd say that Trump has a lower likelihood to resolve conflict on the global scale, and I'd also say that Biden did not start any conflict on the global scale.
Well, it's already happening, though, no?
But just because it's happening doesn't mean it was caused by the current administration.
No, you said Trump won't be able to resolve it, but it's already happened.
I said he's at a lower likelihood to resolve it.
Okay, well, it's happening. So would you agree that if it happens...
Wait, I have a question. What state do you live in?
Tennessee.
What time is it?
It's 4:28. I live in Nashville.
It's currently 5:28 in Tennessee.
I live in Nashville. Oh my days. I live in Nashville.
He sold it with the oh my days. Tennessee is Eastern. Tennessee is not Central. Moving on to our next guest here, guys. Everyone just do give us a minute. Oh my days. Who said that? Avery. Do you remember Avery?
I think so.
They'd always go, oh my days.
Oh my days.
Yeah, I wonder how Avery's doing. We're going to move on to our next guest here. By the way, guys, if you haven't already, make sure to hit the follow button. We are dangerously close to 2 million followers. I think we might even be able to hit it today.
Crazy, bro.
Dude, that's going to be insane. I don't even know what to do for 2 million. Like
yeah, that's insane. I haven't even hit 1 million yet, bro.
It's actually 4:30. Wait, is it actually 4:30 in Nashville? Nah, wait, is Nashville Central?
I think it's
Nashville
Eastern.
Central.
We just did this. Hold up.
We got fucked. We lost. Parker, we lost our first debate.
We are cooked. Hey, wait, so what? Someone literally, wait, I'm not trolling. I only did that because last time I said it was Central, and then people were correcting me in the comment section saying it was Eastern. Bridge the Galaxy, thank you so much.
And Parker,
I literally got gaslit by the chat. Okay, I blame the chat then.
Nah,
I blame the chat. Okay?
Blame yourself, buddy. Accept accountability.
Dude, that's cooked.
Damn, that's crazy. That is crazy to me. Okay, now I feel bad. Oh my days, brother. Feel free to hop back in the queue. We'll talk. We're going to go into what our next guest has to say.
Someone said reported for false information.
Yeah, so real. We're about to get taken down for misinfo.
I know, that's actually something we would get taken down for, huh?
Yeah, what's up, Marshall? Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did. Dude, this is weird. I feel like I was waiting at Disney World. That was so long.
I appreciate you for the $2 on Venmo. Yeah, it's a little bit of a long line. So why did you vote for Trump?
I feel like I lost trust in the Democratic Party.
Wow.
Yeah, I just feel like I look at Biden and I feel like he was a senile old man, almost just as like bad as Trump, like personality wise.
No way. No, there's no shot.
You don't think so?
No. Trump's a rapist. Trump's a 34-count felon. Trump boasted about grabbing women by the P word, boasted about walking into the changing rooms of half-naked teenage girls. Trump tried to religiously persecute and ban all new Muslims from coming into our country. In 2020, when he lost, he tried to coup the country and rig the outcome of the election.
Okay.
Donald Trump said that all black people were lazy in the 70s. And I mean, we could go on and on and on and on all day.
Okay,
So how the fuck do you think that their personalities are comparable? What?
Okay. My problem is that I feel like Biden is bad as well. I think that he was really weird with kids publicly, and with women. So I think.
How so?
Wait, why are we talking about Biden? It was Kamala. Kamala was the candidate.
No, I'm talking about what I feel about the Democratic Party as a whole.
No, I want you to tell me why you didn't vote for Kamala Harris.
Because she's part of the Democratic Party.
Okay, so just party affiliation. That's a kind of weird reason to not vote for someone.
Would
it's
y'all
not
vote for
dependent on their
Republican?
character or policy. We voted for Kamala Harris.
But would y'all vote for a Republican?
Yeah,
if
the
they had
Republican
better
candidate was
policy,
better
yeah.
than the Democrat candidate.
If they had better
I feel
policy
the
and
same
better
way.
character, I would vote for a Republican candidate.
So I just want to clarify: if Trump ran as a Dem and Harris ran as a Republican, who do you vote for?
I guess.
See what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Where was I? Dude, this is nerve wracking. Anyways, okay. I do care about parties, right?
So then, who do you vote for in that scenario?
I guess Kamala.
Whoa, dude, that's crazy, man. I'm sorry, like there's nothing different about their character or their policy. It's simply just what party they are affiliated with. That's an extremely weird thing to evaluate what candidate's better on.
So I just want to clarify.
Has no impact on their character or policy. The only way it would be like it would matter is if it affected their character or policy.
So I just want to clarify, like party over country.
No.
Yes.
No.
I understand.
No. You're definitely a party over country kind of guy, and you can't deny it. Because regardless of what candidate you think is better, objectively speaking, either Kamala Harris is better than Trump, or Trump is better than Kamala Harris. But you just told us that you'd vote for Harris instead of Trump if she was red, and you'd vote for Trump instead of Harris if he was red. So either way you look at it, we don't even need to determine who the better candidate is.
Okay.
You assign party over country.
Yeah, I was confused by the question. Yeah. So, I just okay. Can I get back to what I feel about the Democratic Party and how I feel like they've kind of failed?
No, because we're here to talk about like who you voted for, why, and how we could correct that moving forward. I don't think we could save. I don't think that we could save like incredibly like partisan hacks. Like you might be a little too far gone.
Well, the thing is, I think that y'all might be too far gone with how much y'all hate Trump.
Oh wait, no, because do you hate all grapists? No, see what I mean? It's fair. It's not too far gone. That's just the message that you want to communicate to convince and gaslight people into thinking that their valid feelings are unwarranted.
Okay. Do you
so we could have the rapist criminal 34 count felon as our president again. No, it's totally justified, man. And
do you hate all people?
I want to stigmatize people that don't hate him.
Okay.
You're too far gone because you don't hate the rapist.
Okay.
You're too far gone because you don't hate the wannabe religious persecutor.
Okay.
The guy that sexualized kids. See, those are virtues in your character.
Okay.
Scary to me.
I think Biden also sexualized kids.
Dora, thank you for the $6 and on PayPal. I appreciate you for the love. Okay, give me an example.
There's a video of him specifically. I don't know whose kid it was, but it was public, and he was sniffing this girl and trying to kiss her. And she looked very uncomfortable.
There's
multiple. Huh?
And play me the video.
Am I able to do that? Or
yeah, tell me where to find it online so we could all watch it together.
Look up Biden being creepy, and it'll probably be one of the first ones.
It'll probably be one of the first ones. So,
I'm sure it will be. I'm sure it will be. I saw
Going to Google Biden being creepy.
Dude, it's like, imagine, this is literally not, I like how we can't argue against Kamala Harris. Like, Marshall, you haven't given one critique of Kamala Harris yet.
Yes, I appreciate you for that. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll just like 20 seconds to like your take here. So, I mean, like, first of all, no, like, it didn't pop up. But the whole like creepy Biden, that's a manual. That's a. How do I know exactly what video you're referring to, bro? That's why I asked you for your source, but you're too lazy to find it yourself. Well, the whole idea that like Biden has been.
Did he even hear me? Did he even hear Marshall? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, and I told you multiple times.
Then why didn't you respond to what I just said?
I told
Jessica,
you.
thank you for the $10 on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love, Jessica. Thank you so much.
It has to do with how the Democratic Party kind of gaslit everyone into thinking that Biden was a good guy or that he was mentally capable.
Okay, is that the same as sexual abuse, cooing the country, calling for a Muslim ban?
Didn't the Republican platform try to gaslight the country into thinking that Trump won 2020?
Yeah, and also like literally like saying that he's not cognitively declined.
Okay,
that he's fit.
Here's the problem that I have is that I think there are problems with both sides.
Thank you for the $5 on PayPal. I appreciate you.
But Democrats act all virtuous like they're not. Like they didn't also vote for a weirdo.
So wait, you admit that Republicans know they're not virtuous and that they're shitty POSs?
Okay, is that what I said?
Kinda. I mean, you're just saying that
No,
Democrats
not kind
act
of.
like
That's
they are
not what I
virtuous.
said.
Well, I mean,
I
who's
said
the
that
only
there's problems
party
with both
that has
parties.
passed legislation to benefit members of the low class in the last 100 years? Democrats.
Dean.
Who's the only party that
Dean.
that gives any concern to systemic issues? Like, I
Dean.
could agree, right, that like they don't give enough concern, but sufficiently more than the Republican Party ever has, is
Sure.
because they at least recognize the existence of them. Like, when
Okay.
you make the claim, oh, Democrats think they're so virtuous, it's because they're actively doing better than the Republican platform. And when you make these shitty comparisons between Biden smelling his granddaughter's hair at his son's funeral and make sure that that she doesn't smell bad, to Donald Trump cooing the country, raping a woman, etc., when Biden wasn't even the one running for president, you just sound ludicrous, man. And I'm going to be honest with you. Like, for instance, how would I sound if in 20 years I was like, I'm not going to vote for this Republican candidate that is objectively better than the Democrat candidate because Trump
Not
was a part of the
objectively.
Republican platform and he did a bunch of bad things back in his day. So it's like, even if we assume that Biden's a whole POS, that still doesn't negate or account for the fact that Kamala Harris is objectively a better candidate than Trump. And it's just a very shitty, weird, unorganic argument.
Okay, but my thing is, how did we get to the point where Kamala had like what 3 months to make a campaign, like pull a campaign together? Like
That's
the
your
Democrats
biggest
was
concern.
so
So that's why you never vote for Kamala. I'm done. I'm sick of you. What's
Like,
worse?
wait, we're not going to dispute you. Like that, we do think it's an issue, like how long it took for Kamala Harris to be the candidate and for Joe Biden to step down, and like everything that happened as it relates to that. We're not going to dispute you. Of course, we're going to see that as like an issue, but nowhere near is it going to be an issue that is anywhere near what we see with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And that's the issue. That's what you can't fathom for some reason. You cannot fathom that Trump is worse than that.
Okay.
Is that really your claim here? You can't
like-
fathom that someone held civilly liable of sexually abusing women, said yeah to Howard Stern calling his daughter a piece of ass, bragged about walking into changing rooms of naked teenage girls because he quote unquote owns the place. That guy, you can't see how he can be worse than literally them, right, with Joe Biden? Like literally just
It's
saying
like
he's
putting
cognitively fit. That is such a minimal lie comparative to everything that Trump has lied about. The election, his own cognitive decline, right?
Yeah.
It's like putting Jeffrey
30,000
Dahmer.
confirmed lies.
It's like putting Jeffrey Dahmer next to like a 14-year-old kid that stole a Snickers from like the grocery store,
Okay, no, it's
and
not.
then like
dude.
condemning the child for stealing the Snickers.
No, it's not.
And then
he's creepy with
voting
kids.
for-
Like, do you not hate all pedophiles?
He's not a pedophile.
What?
I'd love for you to give me any evidence that he's a
you
pedophile.
understand that? You
Okay,
understand
I-
that that's applicable to Trump because he said he would date a 10-year-old girl in 10 years?
Okay,
Tell me
so-
what quality, what trait of the 10-year-old is he specifically referring to that
Okay.
he's going to be dating in 10 years? Right? What quality about her indicates that he'd want to be dating her?
So I found the video. It's called Joe Biden Creepy Kids.
Yeah, dude, Marshall, can you hear me, bro?
But you're not really listening to my argument either, I wouldn't say.
Because
Callie,
you're
thank you
talking
so
about
much
Joe
for the
Biden, who's
$10
not even the
and I
fucking
appreciate
nominee
you
in
for
this
the love.
race.
Okay, but he
Thank
is
you for the love, Callie. I appreciate you so much
with
for
the
the
party
$10.
that.
And Anna, thank you for the $10 on PayPal as well. Ashley, thank you so much for the $25. And Jessica, thank you for the $10. I appreciate you so much, Jessica.
Justin, thank you for the
phenomenal.
$5. Charles, thank you so much for the $1. Claire, thank you so much for the $5. Evan with the $25, thank you so much. Justin with the $10, thank you. Amanda, I appreciate the $2, thank you.
Yeah, Brendan,
And
Dora,
Tota,
and
thank you for
Sophia,
the
thank you for
$2.
the $5. And Michelle, thank you for the $15.
It wasn't me
on
with the
PayPal.
$5.
I have a question. What's worse, sniffing a girl's hair or raping a woman?
What is okay?
I asked you a
Obviously,
question.
raping
Please
women
give me
is
an answer.
worse.
Okay,
Obviously.
so if Biden was running against Trump today, and your qualifier for determining who you're going to vote for is going to be character, you'd vote for Biden because he did something that was less worse than what Trump did, right?
Say that again.
Okay, you just said that Trump's worse than Biden. That's what you just said.
Well, I don't know, honestly, because
Okay, now you're like agnostic and unsure if sniffing a girl's hair is like worse or better than raping a woman?
well, if you sniff a girl's hair in public and you're all weird when her parents are right next to her, I'd have questions.
Yeah, just assume literally all of that is true. Assume literally all of that's true. I don't give a fuck. We're
what,
going
he's a
to
pedophile?
accept your tagline. No, that he sniffed a girl's hair all weird in front of her parents.
Not assume it's
What's
true,
worse,
it is true.
that or raping a woman?
Okay, but what I'm saying, I
No,
guess,
no. Answer my goddamn question.
I already did answer
You
your
partisan hack. Which one's worse?
Okay, can I? Note
No,
something here?
fuck no. You can't move. You're going to answer my goddamn question, Marshall.
I told you which one was worse.
Which one? Say it. Say it out loud.
Obviously, sexually abusing a woman is worse than.
So Trump is worse than Biden.
No.
Okay, how could Trump not be worse than Biden? But you just said that grape is worse than smelling a young girl's hair, and Biden is the one that smelled the young girl's hair, and Trump is the one that graped a woman. Explain that logical inconsistency to me.
Trump is better than Biden, or Trump is worse than Biden does not follow from what you just said.
It does follow. Explain to me not. I asked you for the qualifications of the worst thing that Biden's done. You said he sniffed a young girl's hair. I gave you the worst thing Trump's done, or one of them. He's raped a woman. You said that what Trump did was worse than what Biden did. How would it possibly follow that Biden is thereby worse than Trump?
Well, nothing was proved with, nothing has.
So he's just going to deny that it happened with.
Sorry.
Okay, so wait, do you typically accept jury determinations?
Yes.
Okay, so then what's the reason you don't accept the jury determination?
I never said I didn't.
So then you think Donald Trump is a
jury
rapist?
Determination. Wow, what a
But I
fucking
think
insane
Biden
take.
is also possibly a pedophile.
Okay, so you can think what you want, but like you understand that Donald Trump, under your definition, then would also be, because he specifically said that he wants to date a 10-year-old girl in 10 years. Would you concede that him sexualizing a 10-year-old, right, is him being a P3DO?
It's not as bad as what Biden did in terms
What
of.
the fuck? Wait, so sniffing your granddaughter's hair is worse than telling a random 10-year-old that you're gonna fuck him in 10 years?
So it was his granddaughter. It was his granddaughter's hair.
Yep. Now answer my question.
I thought you said you didn't know about that.
I do. It was his granddaughter at her father's
did know,
funeral,
and
and
you
I
did
already went
probably-
over this.
Oh my god, dude. Marshall like doesn't actually care to engage legitimately with this one, and he knows he's wrong.
You know you're wrong, Marshall. Stop
And
being
you're just
dense.
like you're continuing to being dense and disingenuous.
Like, how come you want to do this in front of like 25,000 people? Like, if I was in your shoes right now, right, I would probably own up to the fact that you're wrong. Okay.
Okay. I'm trying to like meet y'all halfway because I don't think that.
No,
Trump
there's
is
no meeting halfway. The grapist is always going to be worse than the non-grapist, specifically in comparison to Biden. That's just a fact. There's
don't think
no
Trump
way
is a
that
good
you're going to
person.
sit here and say that Biden sniffing a little girl's hair is worse than Donald Trump raping a woman.
And I
sit
never
here
did.
and tell me that. Okay, so then sit here and also tell me the logical conclusion that Biden is better than Trump. Do it, Marshall. You know it's true. Biden has a better character with better virtues than Trump.
dude?
I don't know, but
Like,
we're
he
here.
brought this up as the reason why he's not voting for Kamala Harris, dude. I can't even believe it, dude.
I know, me neither. But guess what, Parker? We're here. Fucking do it, Marshall. I've logically deduced you down to this one simple, awesome conclusion. Say it out loud. Biden's character is better than Donald Trump. Say it with me. Biden's character, finish my sentence. Kate, thank you for the $8 on PayPal. I appreciate you for the love. Finish my sentence is what?
Again, my problem is not with who's better. My problem is that both are bad, but y'all like to, just the same way that Trumpers do, like these hardcore Trumpers like to defend all his stuff.
No. You said that your problem was that Biden bad, Democrat bad, always vote red. Am I wrong?
No.
Okay, so then what's your reason of voting for Trump?
Because I told you that I lost trust in the Democratic Party.
Okay, why did you lose trust in the Democrat Party?
Because they tried to peddle an old man.
Because they tried to do something bad, bro. Shit. Oh my God. You know what? Leave. Go ahead, frankly. Goodbye.
Okay. Bye.
Quite frankly, goodbye. All right, we're gonna move on to our next guest. Let's move on to our next guest, guys. Let's get him up here.
Disingenuous.
That was so fucking disingenuous. Unreal.
I don't think he ever responded to my point.
Dude, that was like the most dense guest we've ever had on the live. Oh my God. Oh man. You know, I don't know. I just like, what is it like being a person with that dense of views? It's like, what does like the day-by-day thought process look like? Luke, what's going on? Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
All right, why is that?
He's the better option, in my opinion.
Why that? Why that? Why that? Why so?
Kamala can't answer a question coherently.
Maureen, I appreciate you for the $5 on the
What do you mean?
Test that.
In her interviews?
Yeah, like, can you give me an example? Are you going to say the middle class family point?
Yeah,
thank you
it's a
for
big-
the cutoff point. Had you even watched what she said after that? No, you just heard that clip. Okay, so you want me to bring up like 3 separate clips of Trump being totally incoherent? Because like, if you want to talk about who's incoherent, she's not incoherent at all comparative to Trump. Donald Trump got dog walked so bad. Yeah, Donald Trump got dog
Can you bring your
walked.
mic a little closer? Good boy.
Okay, so kick him. What a weirdo. Kate, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Marine, thank you so much for the $5. And Kaylee, thank you so much. I appreciate the $10. Thank you so much. Charlie, are you voting Trump?
Oh, Charlie was just up here.
You guys kicked me.
He was a fetus.
All right. I don't know why it adds the same people to the top.
Yo, hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, what's up? Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, I did. Just have
what's
a.
that?
Yeah. Well, can I ask you guys a few questions first?
Do it.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess I was just curious. Do you
Hey, thank you
guys,
for the $5 up?
do you guys think that Kamala was the right candidate at the right time, or do you think that?
Yeah.
Do you think
Not
that
the right time,
Biden
but the right candidate?
should have? Yeah. Do you think Biden should have brought it up sooner? That
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like that was really maybe part of the issue.
Yeah, that probably did factor into why she lost. But why did you vote for Trump?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I just think that overall, Kamala seemed really inauthentic.
Less authentic than the 34 count felon rapist.
The 30,000 confirmed lies.
Well, listen.
Less authentic than the guy that lied about the outcome of
Do
the
you guys
2020
want me to
election and
talk,
tried to
or-
pressure the DOJ into overturning the results, falsely announcing widespread voter fraud, and tried to rig the outcome as well. Really? How?
Well, so you want people to come up here, and I can't even get a sentence out.
Take it away.
Yeah. But I mean, I think overall, do you think Americans, the average voter in America, is super informed on every policy?
No.
And
That
so,
was
what do
not
you
an
think?
answer to the question.
Well, it seemed like Dean just wanted to monologue over me and ask 20 questions.
No, I
You're,
spoke for
you're
30 seconds,
monologuing
so
right now, right? Not answering the question.
But that was kind of a side topic. He answered my question with a question.
Seemingly you're complaining.
Then you just
said
do
She
that?
was less authentic. Then I told you how that's not the case.
Yeah,
That's all.
I just think appropriating
e-,
accents of different ethnicities and not answering any question is
So
really
code switching and quote unquote not answering a question.
Yeah. I
So
think
let's
code switching is
clarify.
actually
He thinks
demeaning to
code
different
switching
ethnicities.
and quote unquote not answering a question is somehow worse than sexual abuse,
Well, do you
defamation,
think
fraud,
people
34
voted for
felonies,
Trump
trying to coup the
because
country,
of-
complete and total shutdown of Muslims entering the country. Those things.
Wait, I just want to clarify. Lost lady, what are your pronouns?
Huh? I'm sorry.
What are your pronouns?
Oh, I'm a he.
All right, good. Sorry, I just wanted to.
Yeah, no, you're good. So to answer part of your questions, you're asking about the whole grape scenario, which again, I don't really condone that. No, I don't think really any Republicans are going to actively be saying, yeah, I voted for Trump because he did that. I think that
No,
would be
you're
so
voting for
too-
Trump, and despite that, you're not answering my question though. What those things are worse than what Donald Trump did? How are those things worse? Even if what you're saying is true, how the fuck is that even close to worse?
Well, see, here's the thing. I'm coming up here just trying to have a conversation, and it's immediately just shitting down someone's face. I don't
Bro,
understand. why-
what? This is a debate, and I'm responding to you. And I'm
No,
asking you a
I
question,
wanted
and you
to-
like
no, the question is-
because you know it makes you look
question-
bad. You can't say
Parker,
it. Why?
The question is, you should have voted for Kamala. It's honestly, I'm up here to just have a conversation. I'm not up here to argue with you guys. I'm just having a conversation with you. And if you want to,
you're not having a conversation when you don't respond to what I'm saying.
You can kick me.
You're not
Okay,
responding to what I'm saying at all.
How about this? I have a medium. But before I give my medium, I want to thank James with a $100 on Venmo. James says these fools got the W and still have to come on here and prove their ignorance. Thanks for bringing normalcy to our lives. James, I really appreciate you for the love. Let's get 1,000 W James in the comment section. Seriously, thank you so much, man. It means the world to me. And then also Maureen and Mary, thank you both for the $5 donation. W's for James. But now I would like to offer my peace treaty, Lost Lady.
Yeah, you're good.
So here's my peace treaty.
Yeah.
We rehash your original
Yeah.
position. We slow it
Please.
down a little bit,
Please.
and we just have some good constructive dialogue. But
Honestly,
first, I
that's
also want to
what I
thank
want.
Jamie for the $15 on PayPal. Thank
So,
you, James and
to be honest,
Jamie.
I
But
actually
here's my
kinda fuck with
solution.
y'all.
Here's-
But I
do
just
you mind if I
wanted to have a
talk?
conversation. Yeah, you're good.
Phenomenal. So your position was you voted for Trump instead of Kamala Harris because you perceive Kamala Harris to be unauthentic because you think she's faked accents and not answered questions. So this was Parker's response, and I believe it's valid because we're doing a comparative analysis between both Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. I perceive Donald Trump to be unauthentic because he's lied over 30,000 times during his last presidency, told the biggest lie that any president has ever heard with his told with his denial of the outcome of 2020, 34-count felon, sexualized kids, boasted about grabbing women by the P word, raped a woman all day long. So why do you think that Kamala Harris is less authentic than Donald Trump, when there's many more worse things that Donald Trump has done to make him more unauthentic or less authentic than Kamala Harris?
Yeah, so I'm not condoning the actions of Donald Trump. But what I am saying is we've had Donald Trump in the office for 4 years already. We kind of know the route. We know that he has flaws, character flaws. We know he has character flaws. No one's admitting that.
That doesn't make him more authentic.
But there was a sense of peace in the world when
it doesn't make him more authentic.
Are you gonna like? I mean, there's a lot of reasons. It's not just this like.
So, but let's stay on one at a time.
Okay. You don't think that people vote on a culmination of ideas?
You can vote on a culmination of ideas, but we have to break them down in a separate, different conversation. So we're going to talk about your first of how authentic the candidates are. If you'd like to concede and move on, we could do that too. But at least grant me a concession or a rebuttal.
So your claim was basically that like just because he raped a woman. Which was found liable in civil court, I guess. Liable in civil court, which I don't condone again. And what was your other point?
34-count felon, over 30,000 confirmed lies during his presidency, biggest lie any sitting president has ever told with his denial of 2020. We could go on and on.
Sure. Yeah. So do I agree with what he's saying? No.
But do those things make him less authentic than Kamala Harris? Yes.
I think in some aspects, there are some things worse that he's done than Kamala Harris. So yeah, I mean, if you want me to say I concede on that, I don't mind saying that, but I guess I just want to say that, like, I think at the end of the day, like, people vote based off a culmination of ideas. Like, people don't just
vote for Trump.
Right. Well, I voted for Trump because I think at the end of the day, there was more peace in the world. We didn't have like multiple different conflicts at once. I feel like people respected Trump. And at the end of the day, like, I feel like these spaces, like when people come up here and just like want to talk about this, like it becomes just very toxic. And I honestly just wanted to have a conversation with y'all. I actually think that a lot of the things you guys say are like insanely
I'm doing my best to keep this a very productive, non-toxic conversation. Carissa, I appreciate you for the $20 on Venmo. Thank you so much for the love, Carissa. Let's get some W Carissas down below for the $20 donation. And Tuesday and Diana, thank you both for the $5 a piece. So now your claim is that there's more peace. So Parker, if you want to respond to that, go ahead. I cut you off there and just give you back the mic.
Yeah. So again, can you tell me like what Kamala Harris did that was so bad? That is like worse than everything Trump did.
We're on a different topic.
I got him to concede on that one. So,
I mean,
all right. So then I'll ask him about a different question. What do you like? Can you name me one Trump economic policy he influenced to get passed that you like?
Well, I can tell you one for Kamala that I didn't like that she was proposing. Can you name about voting for a different candidate? So I'll tell you why I wasn't in favor of Kamala.
Can you just tell me one policy of Trump's that you like?
Yeah, he said he wasn't going to tax overtime.
I asked that he influenced to get passed.
Jaden, thank you for the $10 donation on PayPal.
I mean, can you tell me one that Kamala influenced to get passed?
Yeah, the Inflation Reduction Act.
Which actually inflation has spiked a lot higher since then, and it's
Nina, thank you for the $10
when it was actually when the Inflation Reduction Act was passed. Right, we saw inflation fall down after. Not saying that was caused by that, but like that's just what happened. You saying it was inflation what happened after the Inflation Reduction Act is completely economically illiterate. You understand that the Inflation Reduction Act was deficit reducing?
Yeah, and then if we look back, 2 years ago, what was the inflation rate?
2 years ago? Yeah, so 2 years ago, the inflation rate was higher. That doesn't mean it was caused by the Biden-Harris administration. That happened around the entire world, right? It was global inflation because of the pandemic. Right, it affected supply chains. I don't think the Biden-Harris administration caused the majority of the inflation. No, because actually, if you want to talk about spending, Trump spent more. He signed off more debt-related spending than the Biden-Harris administration. Right, 8.4 trillion overall, 4.8 trillion non-COVID related for the Biden-Harris administration, 4.3 trillion overall, 2.2 trillion non-COVID related.
So Kevin, thank you for the $10 donation on PayPal. I appreciate you, Kevin.
I was just going to tell you, like, I gave you something that I think would be good that Trump did or said. And what I would say is that Kamala Harris was literally proposing to give $25,000 to first-time homeowners for a down payment on a house. Yeah. And so what do you think about increasing the demand of homes
That's good for new homes because that increases the incentive for suppliers to produce new homes in places where people want to live, which creates a higher supply of already built houses, which then lowers the price on already built houses.
You're so smart, man, but you're not letting me even talk, bro. I'm going to be honest.
You asked a question. I answered the question.
Okay, you've spent like 70% of your time on this live complaining. If you bump that to 75,
you're just like not letting. I haven't even been able to finish the topic. Listen, all I'm saying is like, if you're going to raise demand for homes, you're going to drive home prices up. That's simple supply and demand. If demands are in more and if houses are more,
what if you raise demand and supply? What happens then?
Well, then if you raise demand and so where's the supply coming from?
So here, let me explain. So the reason why we're doing a $25,000 tax credit for first-time home buyers for new homes is to incentivize suppliers to produce more homes in places where people want to live. So it doesn't make it more unaffordable, right, for people to get new homes because they can get the first-time home buyer new home, right? And then for specifically homes that are already built, there then becomes a greater supply of houses that are already built, which then lowers the prices for already built homes. Does that make sense?
Can you say I think I lost you like halfway.
So it incentivizes more people to produce and build homes in places where people want to live because there's a higher price for new homes. Okay. Right. And then since those homes are now built at higher degrees, you've increased the supply, right? So there's a greater supply of already built homes, which then lowers the price of already built homes because there's the same demand with actually a higher supply.
I mean, like, I guess I see like somewhat of what you're saying, but I think in principle, like the more you're driving demand into a sector, like I think the more expensive it's going to be. Like,
for new homes specifically, to again incentivize suppliers to produce those new homes, because if there's a greater price for new homes, right, they would make more money off making new homes in places where people want to live, which means that they're going to supply more houses in places where people want to live, new homes.
So do you think then inflation's going to go up because of that?
Only for new homes.
So why would
right? But it doesn't become less affordable for new homes because first-time home buyers get a $25,000 tax credit for their down payment.
So
thank you for the $10 on PayPal. I appreciate you for the love, Heyo.
So then are you saying then we should be proposing legislation that promotes inflation?
Yeah, because it'll drive incentivization for new homes to be developed. And it will be canceled out.
Specifically within that sector.
The ripple effects are going to be from that.
In the long term, it'll actually reduce the price of houses.
Yeah, because if you get rid of the subsidy in the future, the tax credit, right, then you have a higher supply with a lower demand.
Yeah. I'm kind of done talking to you. Do you have any last words?
You like tariffs, by the way, like 10 to 20% universal tariffs. Those are actually inflationary across the whole economy. You're voting for Trump, so
Can I just make one last point and then I'll drop? Yeah.
It's like this guy can't understand what I'm saying for some reason.
Okay, so the reason I feel like at the end of the day, like I think everyone in America has the right to vote the way they want.
See, nothing to do with anything that
when you guys like overtalk and like demonize people for voting.
You're just gonna complain again?
You're just gonna divide the country more.
You didn't listen. You didn't listen to anything we actually said.
When you guys are really toxic, bro. I came up and really.
Hey, Scotty, did you vote for Trump?
What a weirdo.
Guys. How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Did you vote for Trump?
Sounds good. Yeah, I did.
All right, what's that?
So let me start by saying, one, I'm in California, so at the end of the day, my vote.
It doesn't matter. The whole purpose of us running this live, right, is just to build better, or hopefully inspire a better foundation of beliefs and virtues in American citizens.
Yeah,
to vote better in the future. So yeah, man.
So when in 2016, that was the first chance that I got to vote, right? I was 20 years old, first time I'm getting to vote, and I was super in conflict, and I had a lot of, people that I trusted around me that I tried to go and be like, what do I do here? Like, I'm looking at like something that's never been seen, like, and they tried to give me, and I got too overwhelmed that I ended up not voting in 2016. And I was just very like, I don't know what to do here.
So why did you vote for Trump in this election? I would just like to thank Emma for the $10 donation on PayPal. Christina,
Yeah,
thank
sorry,
you so
I'm
much
sorry.
for the $10 donation on Venmo. I really appreciate you guys. But
Millie, thank you so much for the $10. I appreciate it. Layla, I appreciate the $5. Blind, thank you so much for the $1. Jamie, thank you so much for the $10. I appreciate it. And Diane, thank you so much for the $5. Miranda, thank you for the 2, the 3. Thank you so much.
And Amy, thank you for the $50 donation on Venmo. Amy, I really appreciate you for the love. That is AIMEE. Thank you so much for the $50. That is so incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much. But why did you vote for Trump in this election?
So, like I said, didn't vote in 2016. Kind of didn't know what to do.
Why did you vote in this election?
I turned around and in 2020, I still kind of was super. I didn't know what to do, and so then, that's what I'm trying to get to. So essentially, when it came to this one, what I saw was where the world kind of was, and what you guys do is super impressive. How you guys research is super impressive. Across the board, no matter what side you're on, people like you impress me, and how much time you guys put into this. And I think I'm more fall into the average American demographic of like, listen, what we see is what we see, and if we feel like, is the economic directly tied to the president? Yes, no, maybe so. Most of people, hopefully do a little bit think like, okay, he doesn't perfectly control it. No one does. And what I saw was at the end of 2016, people in and around my life, people I knew across the country were doing pretty well for themselves, where we were in a spot where the world globally was doing pretty well in terms of peace.
Jack, thank you so much for the $50 on Venmo. Thank you so much. Give me some W's for Jack in the comment section right now. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the $50 on Venmo. Thank you so much.
Dude, nice. Shout out, Jack. And then, at the end of this presidential cycle, I was just kind of seeing the opposite. A lot of friends and family that lost houses,
Okay. Can I ask you a question, Scotty? Could you sum up why you voted for Trump in 2 sentences?
Yeah, I saw the state of people I knew and our country, as well as the world, at the end of both presidential cycles, and I leaned more towards what I saw.
All right, I'm gonna go. And I love y'all so much. I'm gonna go start my own live. I love y'all.
Parker.
Yeah, see you, Parker.
I
tried to kick Parker, accidentally kicked Scott. My bad, bro. Feel free to hop back in the queue. I'll happily bring you back up. But we're gonna move on to our next guest. Monet, thank you for the $10 donation on Venmo. I appreciate you so much for the love, Monet. And Christina, thank you for the $10 donation as well. You guys are awesome. If you guys are in the queue, make sure that you're voted for Trump. We're gonna go to get our next guest up in here right now, y'all. Please do hop back up in that queue, Scott. I'd happily bring you right back up. We're gonna go to get our next guest up in here right now. Everybody, just give us a minute, y'all. Everyone, do just give us a minute. In the meantime, y'all, make sure that we are double tapping away on that phone screen. Right now, we're sitting at nearly 6 million likes. That is intense. Wow. Let's go to see what we got. Everybody, just do give us a minute. All right. In the meantime, Shayla, thank you for the $5 donation on PayPal. You are awesome. Our next guest is loading in right now. What is going on, Mr. Raphael? Did you vote for Trump?
Hey, how's it going? I did.
All right, man. Why did you vote for Trump? Let's talk about it.
Personally, I just felt like, so actually I would say, I think my first election was actually back.
$5 donation on PayPal. Appreciate that.
First election was back, and when he was first running, I will say honestly, I really didn't want to go for him. It was, I don't know, kind of felt, didn't like what he was shooting for. I honestly felt like he was a big racist.
Sure, with all due respect, I appreciate you for talking to me. This is great. But I would just like to know your reasons why you voted for Trump.
Gotcha. Okay, I will say, from experience of these past 4 years, and then living in the now, I will say it's been hard. Like I said, gas. For example, my personal experience, I feel like gas was high, interest rates were high, and I will say from his first term, gas was low. There was no wars. Interest rates were low. And I know, like, I feel like, I know everybody's like, oh, you can't just say it because he's a president. I mean, I feel like presidencies does have an effect. And like I said, just living it once, I'm hoping that he does it again. I will say I don't like what they were trying to push with, as in like they kind of just. And I know this might sound very disrespectful, but I feel like they kind of just used her as a puppet. Like I don't. You go ahead.
Thank you. First, I'd like to just thank a couple donors here. Susan, thank you so much for the $20 donation on Venmo. It means the world to me. Thank you so much, Susan. And Erna, thank you for the $15 donation on PayPal. You are awesome, Susan and Erna. Megan, thank you so much for the $10 donation on Venmo. And Sarah, thank you for the $20 donation on Venmo as well. Thank you guys so much, Susan, Sarah, Megan, and Erna. You guys are awesome. So awesome. I have a question for you. How did the Biden-Harris administration increase the price of gasoline?
I will say I haven't really done much research on it. From me, on my understanding, I guess the one thing that I heard or I guess hear a lot of people talk about is the cutting the pipeline and then taxing these big companies. I feel like, if these companies are getting taxed more, what they're going to do, they're just going to raise the prices and make it more expensive for people to make, for them to purchase gas. And
Great. So would you say that our current tax policy is very bad and you never want it back?
Our current tax policy, I hear you on that. Okay.
Would you say that?
Yeah, but I feel like so.
Okay, so you just said that our current tax policy is very bad and you never want it back. We are still under Donald Trump's tax policy, and he was elected to be our next president, so he will bring it back next year.
Correct. But I want to see. So going back to that, I feel like with everything around you, as in like I feel like gas is the most important thing because I feel like if gas is up, that also increases obviously, like for example, transportation for goods, right? That's just going to make more things more expensive. Hence why groceries are more expensive.
So you said that the way the Biden-Harris administration increased the price of gas was by reducing our domestic oil supply by shutting down the Keystone XL pipeline, right?
I'm sorry. We'll say that one more time. I'm sorry.
You said the way the Biden-Harris administration caused the price of gas to go up was by reducing our domestic production of oil by shutting down the Keystone, right?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Phenomenal. So first of all, the Keystone was not domestically owned. It was a Canadian pipeline. Second of all, we are actually producing more oil right now than our country ever has at any point ever before.
Right. Okay. So I guess my question is, or if they're pumping more, right, but they're taxing these big companies, right, and they're just making it more
We're
expensive.
still under Donald Trump's tax plan. Biden and Harris did not change the tax plan. We are still under Donald Trump's tax plan. Could you say that for me?
I got you. Okay. Right. I see what you're saying.
Right. So if it's higher taxes on companies that are causing the price of gas to increase, whose fault is that? Tell me, Raphael. Who is it?
I got you. Yep.
No, who is it? No, seriously. I'm actually asking you. Whose fault is it?
Trump.
There you go.
So, but I guess I hear what you're saying. I guess from personal experience, though.
Dude, you literally told me that it's our tax plan that caused inflation. I told you it's Trump's tax plan. Trump caused inflation, but somehow Harris bad. Please tell me.
Well, I don't know. I'm just like, again, from past experience, I guess, or living in it, right? Like the last time when gas hit an all-time high, right? It was when the Democrat was in party, right? And I will say once, and actually I think it hit the all-time high when I think Obama was when he was in his second term. And then after when Trump got into his first term, I think it was the second year that it went down, and this was before COVID. So I do know, I feel like a lot of people do like to say, "Oh, COVID does have a impact." All right, yes, I hear that, but I will say he was able to do this.
$5 on Venmo.
He was able to do this before COVID even happened, and I will agree. I will say that yes, COVID did have an impact, and that was left in the hands of Biden. But I will say another thing
I'm so fucking sorry. Yep. You have to tell me what the administrations did to cause it, or I'm just gonna move on.
I guess I hear. I honestly, I'm not very educated on that end. I'm just saying from personal living and experience.
Okay, well, you can't just live in the now and use your experience under the presidency to determine how good or bad the presidency was. If I was one of the 14.8% of Americans that lost their job in April of 2020 under Trump, would I be able to blame the highest level of unemployment in our country since the Great Depression on Donald Trump?
Sorry, my bad. You're cutting out. Can you say that one more time?
No, I appreciate you for coming up, man. I appreciate you for being respectful. Have a good rest of your day, Raphael. But I do really appreciate you for coming up and being respectful, man. We're gonna go to move on. Jennifer, thank you so much for the $100 donation on Venmo. I do really appreciate you for the love. Everybody, please show some love to Jennifer down below in that chat, saying thank you for all that you do. But seriously, Jennifer, thank you so much. It is so incredibly kind. And Sarah, thank you for the $20 donation on Venmo as well. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much. And Elizabeth with a $15 donation. But seriously, spam at least 1,000 W Jennifers down below in that chat. Thank you so much. And Millie, thank you for the $20 donation on PayPal. And Kate with a $20 donation on PayPal as well. Thank you guys so much. But seriously, Raphael, you were very respectful. You were very kind, and I appreciated you for coming up, man. I hope I didn't upset you by removing you, and I'm sorry if I did. What's going on, Waste? Did you vote for Trump?
Hi, can you hear me?
Sure can. How old are you?
I'm 20.
Awesome. Did you vote for Trump?
I didn't, but I have 2 important questions, if that's okay.
Sure, you could go and ask him while bringing up our next Trump supporter.
All right, so I just wanted to ask what you think about...
the queue, you're voting for Trump, y'all? Good.
I just wanted to hear what you think about Democrats lately saying that this election was rigged or there was voter fraud.
Yeah,
Because
I disagree with them. I was the first Democrat to come out after the election and say that that's probably not the case. We don't have any evidence. I think it's crazy, right, that there's Democrats that have watched MAGA for the last 4 years hold those same conspiratorial nonsense takes, right? And then they turn around and they reflect them themselves. It's fucking insane to me. Kamala Harris conceded the election. Donald Trump won, and that's the facts. Hop of the queue if you voted for Trump, y'all. And then also, for all of like the Republicans saying, oh, Democrats coping, bro, your guy literally started that and convinced 70% of the Republican Party that that was the case 4 years ago. Get off your high ground. Viba's boss, what's up? Did you vote for Trump?
Hi, yes, I did.
Okay, and why did you do that?
I voted for him because of the immigration problems and that he said he would abolish sanctuary cities.
Oh, so you're for like government, like federal government, you want it to be bigger?
No.
Well, then why would you want to abolish sanctuary cities? Sanctuary cities is a perfect display and demonstration of a state levying their rights in accordance with a constitution, all right, against the rights and power of the federal government. All right, I thought that it was the Republican Party that wanted to put more power in the hands of the states with things like abortion, but now you're telling me that you voted for Trump so the federal government takes more power away from the states.
Well, I just live in a sanctuary city and it's not going too hot over here, so I would like to see a change, even if that does mean that. But I do believe in states' rights. But I would like for you to explain what you just said a little deeper. I'm not trying to like argue. I respect what you guys do.
Yeah, sure. So it's like a levy of state to federal power, right? Mm-hmm. And when you say that you want to abolish sanctuary cities, you're just saying that you want to make that levy for more in line with giving more power to the federal government, right? And that's just antithetical to the typical views of the Republican Party. But maybe I could ask you this question: what is Trump's plan to fix immigration?
He said he would deport a lot of the illegal immigrants. I'm sorry?
Through mass deportation, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how is he going to do that? Because all Republicans that have run for president since 2000 with Bush have said that they're going to pull off the largest scale mass deportation of all the undocumented migrants in our country. Bush never did it. Trump didn't do it during his first term. So how is he going to do it this term?
I don't know. That's a good question. I would have to ask him.
That's right, because he hasn't given a plan. He's just given rhetoric. And that's why I would say Kamala Harris is better for immigration. Thank you, Kelsey, for the subscription. In comparison to Donald Trump, it's because she has a substantive plan. He has rhetoric, and that's a fact, right? What we need to do is we do need to deport violent undocumented migrants. We need to give nonviolent undocumented migrants a pathway to residency or citizenship, and then we need to fix the legal processes to come into our country to reduce the incentivization that exists to enter into the country through undocumented means, and that's what Kamala Harris was going to do. Can you please give me an overview of Trump's plan?
I cannot, but I also voted for him for a few other reasons as well.
Let's talk about them. Take it away.
I don't know if he got lucky or if it was just during his time that there was no war going on. And I think that was pretty nice for us as well. There wasn't conflict. The air felt fresh to breathe. We weren't super stressed about certain things like that. The thing about Kamala Harris and the Democrats currently in general that I feel I don't align with, their social views I do align with generally.
How about we talk about those first points and then we can move on to social views? Does that work?
Yeah, whatever you want.
Awesome.
I
First,
just
I'd
need
like
to
to
hear you
thank
speak on
Destiny
the
with a.
issues.
Of course. First, I'd like to thank Destiny and Scott both for the $5 donations on PayPal. And Lily, thank you so much for the $20 donation on Venmo. Everybody, please show some love to Lily down below in the comment section right now with the $20. That is so kind of you. And Yolanda with a $20 donation as well. Show some love to Lily and Yolanda. And then Kate, thank you for the $8. You guys are phenomenal. Thank you guys so much. So let's talk about a couple of the things that you just shared. So first of all, you said that there's no wars under Trump. There was. So we had a Turkish-Kurdish war caused by our pull out of Kurdistan. We basically told 60,000 Kurds to starve to death or leave. We had a genocide in Yemen, as well as we had a proxy war with Russia in Syria with U.S. boots on the ground fighting Russian troops. And we had 65 service members dead, not to mention the ongoing war in Afghanistan and a self-proclaimed war on ISIS. What were the other points you brought up? Remind me. My apologies.
No, you're totally good. I said I do like the fact that he wants to give states rights to certain things, but
Like
I
abortion?
disagree. Yeah, but the abortion topic is tough for me. Myself, I'm pro-life, but I do think abortion should be legal up to a certain term
Which
of it
is?
for everyone. Probably like 16 to 20 weeks. I think that's when the cutoff should be. But
20 weeks? You're not pro-life if you want to draw the line at 20 weeks.
I said I'm pro-life for myself, and
Well,
I
it's
think
called pro-choice. Pro-choice means that you get to have the choice as well as everyone around you gets to have
I
the
think-
choice. You're just simply choosing not to get an abortion.
I just think that abortion should
20 weeks. 20 weeks. That's also like the protections offered under Roe. Did you know that?
No, I did not. I'm also like a lot of other people in here, like an average Joe, like not really super into looking things up. I think the media twists a lot of things for both sides. So that's why I came to talk to you. I'm curious.
So what are your other reasons why you voted for Trump?
Well, with the abortion thing, I don't think abortion should be a government issue in general, which is why I have a hard time with it.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna demonstrate this to you very simply. Kate, thank you for the $5 on PayPal. Thank you so much for the love. Do you think that slavery should be a government issue?
I'm sorry?
Should slavery be a government issue?
No.
And that's why we federally protect against the ownership of slaves. So if you don't think that abortion should be a government issue, we need to federally protect access to abortion. You keep it out of the hands of like the congressmen and women through federal protections.
Okay, cool. I agree with
Do you
you.
see the connection there, right? And
Yeah, I do.
And the federal protection is what? Congressional legislation offering the same protections that were offered under Roe v. Wade.
Yes.
Oh. See what I mean? So like that's why you should have voted for Harris.
Okay. I concede to you.
Do you have any other points?
Not currently, no.
Okay,
I
yeah,
appreciate talking with you.
No, I appreciate you for coming up here, being open, honest, and kind. You're awesome.
Yeah, thanks, Dean. Bye.
Have a good one. All right. Well, it's too late now, but guess what? The whole point of these lives, ladies and gentlemen, it's to work on the foundational moral beliefs and virtues of people watching the live, people coming up and debating. So hopefully we get a better luck in the midterms and in the next election. But of course, this is just kind of one front of the issue, right? You don't only just have to work and kind of fix and tune, right, the virtues and beliefs of American citizens. You also have to like work, fix, and tune the Democrat Party, right? Because I also feel like there's issues there. Crystal, thank you for the $5 on Venmo, but that might just not be my issue to advocate to fix, But I bet I'll end up talking about that as well. I'm going to get into that. Hey, I appreciate you so much for the Maple Leafs, Yolanda. But hey, man, it's been a couple days. We're like 3 days out from the election. I hope everyone's doing well.
Yep.
What's up, Blake? Did you vote for Trump? All right, Blake's not here, so we're going to move on to our next guest, y'all. All right, moving on. Everybody, dude, just give us a minute. I feel like another thing that really needs to be talked about a lot, especially like within this election, is like the social issues onset by Trump's presidency, because people think more things are more socially acceptable, like racism and misogyny, for instance, homophobia, those kind of things. Right? I feel like that's a big conversation, right, that needs to be had, right? And the only reason it's not had is because it doesn't directly relate to him or his policy, and it more so has to relate to the social fallout of him and his policy. It's the culture war that has just been lit on fire with fucking ethanol fumes because Trump got elected. But yeah, if you're one of the 18,000 people watching the live, make sure to hit that follow button, y'all. We're going to be on here for a handful more hours, y'all. So everyone, just do give us a minute to get our next guest up in the box. If you are in the queue, make sure that you voted for Trump. We're just looking for more debates here today. So everybody, just do be patient. It started in Canada too. Yep. What's up, Gabrielle? Did you vote for Trump, man?
Hey, can you hear me?
Sure can.
Yes, absolutely. I voted for Trump, 100%.
All right. And why did you do that, sir?
Yeah, so my reason for voting for Trump is not going to be like any other of the viewers that you said before or you've talked to.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm a progressive, and I voted for Trump. So it's
Oh, dude, what a mess. What a mess. What a mess.
Not a mess at all.
Thank you for the
Not a
$5
mess at all. You should have voted for Trump. And I'll explain my reasons. Yeah. So I'll explain my reasons. So you may think like Trump winning is a bad case scenario, the worst case scenario. Well,
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, Trump has won. And like, what do we expect him to do? He's going to be incoherent in his interviews. He's going to do a bunch of offensive things. Now, how are people going to react to when he behaves like in this crazy manner? Like a lot of people
Go on Twitter and tell women to make them sandwiches, say that gay people suck, engage in racism, misogyny, and homophobia, fucking discriminate and further marginalized all minority communities in the U.S., more hate crimes against immigrants in our country. These are all things that I've seen in the last 48 hours.
Okay, so you saw misogyny and racism on Twitter?
Oh, yeah. Then also at a local 5 guys in my hometown, this clip is going viral, by the way. You could probably find out where I live if you find the clip I'm talking about. A legal migrant in my 5 guys in my hometown had a Trump supporter walk up to them, tell them to go back to where they're from, started throwing like racial slurs at them.
Well, Dean, how did that make you feel?
Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. How do you think it made me feel?
You probably felt very angry, right?
Karina, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. Rage would be one of my feelings.
I know, exactly. That's my point. And how do you think other people felt? They also probably were very angry. Like they were rageful.
Well, I mean, I'd say about 72 million people probably cheered them on.
Yeah, well, sure. And so
what's your point? Why does this make you want to vote for Trump? Do you just like want to destroy America to invigorate more people to be more upset about it so we could rebuild stronger in like 4 or 8 years?
Well, not just that, but do you know how many people are going to be radicalized, just like how you were radicalized on Twitter?
Sure.
Like a lot.
I'll go ahead and say that there will be a lot more people that are more radicalized in progressive ideals.
That's my exact point. And so that's...
Hey, I have a question. Do you think
Go
that
ahead.
slavery radicalized more people to be anti-racist?
Well, I don't think Trump is going to be that harmful.
No. Slavery, do you think that radicalized people in more anti-racist ideals?
Are you saying that it is ethical? Is it unethical for me to vote for Trump because he has bad policies?
$2 on Venmo. I will ask you my question. Did slavery radicalize people?
Well, I mean, this is just a gotcha.
Ideas?
Like, I'm going to the vein of your question. Do you think you're asking me, is it ethical to vote?
So, Gabrielle, I will either give you an opportunity to answer my question, or I will move on to my next guest.
Well, I mean, hold on a second. I've got some good reasons here, and I think you probably should vote for Trump because.
And I would love for you to share those good reasons with me in an ongoing dialogue through discussion, but that would require for us both to engage with each other's questions and statements.
Okay, but Dean, you're clipping me right now.
I am.
I know, but like you're saying, did slavery radicalize a lot of people? So therefore, is it okay to vote for slavery so that we can get the radicalization? Is kind of your question.
You kind of took the words right out of my mouth. The obvious answer is no. Okay, radicalization of individuals with more progressive views does not justify harm caused by anti-progressive views, right? Such as forms of bigotry, including slavery and including the policy and social progression.
Well, how much do you think Trump is going to do? He's not going to do that much, is he?
I don't like that. And you say that as a what? A fucking man.
Well, I mean, we just say, look at the campaign promises.
Do you want to say that he's not going to do that much to these 60 assault victims a day that will be continued to denied access to abortion because he will not codify federal protections for access to abortion for women and girls in our country? I want you to walk up to each and every single one of them individually and say, I want you to be forced into maintaining the result of rape so more people will be radicalized against Trump and his worldview. 60 women every day. Can you live with that?
Well, I don't know if that would change under Kamala, number one. Would she win the House and Senate? Would that even be possible? I don't think so. And secondly, 60, that's horrible. I don't want that to be happening. Of course, I agree with you. But at the same time, we're going to enjoy as progressives. It's going to be infinite growth, infinite content for all of our ideas. We have 20,000 viewers right now. I think you had 7,000 before. Like it's going to be
I
like
have 15,000
a complete
before.
renaissance of our movement.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is so fucking, dude. This is so deplorable. This
Wait,
is like,
hold on. What's wrong with what I'm saying though?
Yeah, because although the renaissance of progressive movements is good, right, predicated on a desire for bad to create the good is deplorable. Like, for instance, right, if I were to set up one of my like really toxic, bad boyfriend friends with a girl I really liked, so she could live 2 years in a toxic, abusive relationship. So then they could break up and she would be more prone and susceptible to manipulation. So I could walk into the picture and manipulate her into being my girlfriend and be with me for the rest of the life. That would be incredibly fucking deplorable. And that is creating good out of bad in accordance with your worldview. And also,
Well, I'm
maybe
not
we
saying-
could just go down.
I
Maybe we
clearly-
could
I
just
clearly
maybe we could just go
stipulated
down
that
to
it wouldn't be that harmful.
maybe we could just go down to the root of the issue. Are you white?
No.
What's your race?
Well, does it matter? Like, why would it matter?
I mean, I'm just trying to determine something real quick. Anyways, I guess apart from your race, you're a man, and that is an incredibly privileged perspective to sit from.
Why would
I
that
don't
matter
think
either?
that you could sit here and say
Wait, hold on a second,
that
hold on a
I
second.
want minority communities in our country to continue to be persecuted, to continue to be marginalized, to continue to be harmed. So more people will end up thinking like me, but I'm going to make sure that as much of that persecution will not apply to me as possible.
Well, I'm not. You're accusing me of being an Uncle Tom. Like, is that really the
I don't know. what that
argument
term
against
means.
me?
I don't know what that term means.
Well, I mean,
I'm unaware.
like a race traitor is what you're saying to me right now.
I think I'm more so pointing at your status as a man.
Well, I mean, that would also apply to my status as a minority person also.
I mean, I feel like some would say that in some sense you would be literally advocating for more harm against other individuals that would fall into like the same minority class of like Latinx individuals in America. Yes.
Yeah, but I don't know, Dean. I just see. Do you think I'm Latinx? Is that why you said that? Or Latinx?
Repeat that.
Do you think I'm Latinx or Latino?
Yeah, there was a handful of people in the chat that had said they went to your profile and.
Well,
are you Latino? Are you not?
Yeah, I suppose the reason.
Please feel free to correct me.
Yeah, I'm just thinking to like level 2. Like I'm thinking, like, what is the second order consequences of a Trump presidency? If Kamala was in office, it's sort of, you wouldn't really enjoy like that many. It would sort of be a depressant.
Okay. So let's say that we had a third party option in this election. Okay, let's assume that in the last election we had a third party option. Okay, and let's assume that third party option was Adolf Hitler. Who would you be voting for?
Well, I just think Trump is a lot more. I don't think he'll do any of the things he said during the campaign.
No. Who'd you vote for?
Hold on.
Donald Trump or Adolf Hitler?
I'd vote for Donald Trump.
Wait, really? Would Adolf Hitler?
Wait, hold on. You said Donald Trump or Adolf Hitler, right?
Yeah.
Who would you vote for? You wouldn't vote for Donald Trump?
Oh yeah, when in the comparison, I'd vote for Donald Trump, but in accordance with
and
your
so we agree.
worldview, that we should vote for the worst candidate because that will cause more radicalization of progressive beliefs. Adolf Hitler would be your guy.
No, so that clearly was not. I had a stipulation that as long as he wasn't that harmful, or he didn't actually cause too much harm.
Do you think that 22,000 rape victims being denied access to abortion every year is too much?
Do you think that'll happen though? Like,
Yeah,
I don't think
no,
that
it's already happening.
I don't think she would have got the House or the Senate. Like, I don't know that that's
Okay,
really
well, I
under
mean,
her control.
if you could just make the claim that good policy that would have swayed your vote to Kamala Harris won't get passed for Kamala Harris, I could just say the same thing about Trump. But what we could also say, in comparison of the two candidates, Kamala Harris was able to be more viable in Congress in her last 4 years in comparison to Donald Trump in his first 4.
Well, I don't know. Do you see what I'm saying though? Like, Donald Trump being in office there's like more benefit. I know you're saying it so solemnly, like this is a horrible thing. Well, Trump is pretty old. Like, if you listen to his speeches, they're like not really speeches. He's just
okay. If he was running against Biden, would you vote for Biden because he's older?
No. My point is that he's not a good governor. That Trump won't be good at governing. That he'll be even worse than before. So he's not going to get much done.
No, I'd actually say that he's going to be better than he was before to achieve his bad end goals, because last time he just appointed people assuming that they'd go along with him in his bad plans, but this time he knows exactly what he needs to do and he knows who he needs to appoint. A really good example of this would be like his pick for VP being Mike Pence, right? You wanted to pressure Mike Pence into overturning the results of the election, but of course Mike Pence valued the Constitution more.
Wait, do you think he didn't do that this time?
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, so everyone in his administration, like all the people around him,
yeah,
he
chose people that would be more he chose people that would be more susceptible to like following in line with what he wants and what he says.
Well, his campaign manager Chris LaCivita called him out during January 6th.
I was literally giving you an example of JD Vance, right, who said that he would have certified the results on January 6th and made Trump the illegitimate president of the United States of America for a second term.
Yeah, well, that's horrible. I don't think Trump should. Again, I'm a progressive. I'm not. I agree with you.
You're only a progressive in your own fucking mind. What's the relevant distinction between the harm that you cause and the harm that 63-year-old racist old white men that vote for Trump cause?
It's because we're going to grow and we can combat that. We're going to get like such a huge audience.
Give me the difference.
There's a positive.
No. I asked you a very specific question. You're not giving me an answer. What is the difference in the impact of you and the racist 63-year-old white guys that voted for Trump?
What is the
impactful difference? There's none. So how can you say that you are a progressive if you cannot name the impactful difference between you and all the racist 60-year-olds?
I'm voting to change minds effectively. If you look at a few worlds removed of what my vote, how my vote impacts the situation.
That would be a difference within the intention, not a difference in the impact. You're already making a categorical error. That would be a difference in the intention, not a difference in the impact.
Well, I'm just thinking farther out.
I know, but I'm not asking you about what you're thinking. I'm asking you about what you're causing. What is the impactful difference between you and
my argument is that I'm causing us to be popular.
Okay, so would you say that all 63-year-old white guys that voted for Trump are also progressive because they are going to cause that same thing?
Yeah, awesome. They're causing us to be
popular. Wait. Would you just say that Trump is a progressive because he's going to cause that?
No, I'm not saying that doesn't constitute progressivism. Simply because you're
well, like if an impact of causing more people to be radicalized around progressivism doesn't make you a progressive, then you, sir, are not a progressive.
Well, my progressive views make me progressive.
No. I'd say if you don't.
Wait, hold on a second. What are you talking about? Of course that constitutes progressivism if you hold progressive views.
No, I don't think you do. If you want to vote for Trump, you don't hold progressive views.
Well, I gave you a progressive reason for voting for Trump. Like I don't know. I didn't give you a Trump supporter reason that I voted for Trump. I gave you.
Wait, I have a question. What is a Trump supporter?
Enormously.
I have a question. What is a Trump supporter? Someone that thinks that we're going to benefit enormously from a Trump administration.
Not progressive
no, but I have a question. If Kamala Harris would be, I have a question. If Kamala Harris were to be able to get federal codification for every single American woman and girl's right to choose, meaning that we no longer have 22,000 rape victims being denied access to abortion every year, would that be sufficient reason to?
Well, hold on a second. If you let's say that Kamala won, and then none of us became popular. You didn't become popular, or you didn't you kind of fell off. Let's say Dean, or Parker kind of fell off also.
No, I asked you a question. I'm going to have you answer.
Hold on, would that be good, Canary?
No, I'm going to go ahead and have you answer my question. Would you like me to repeat it? Because I know that you weren't listening, Gabriel.
No, hey, I'll answer. You don't have to repeat anything.
Then go ahead.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I'm a progressive. I believe in these things. I don't want any.
I actually didn't. So the question that I asked you. Actually, the question that I asked you, right? One of the available answer choices.
Hold on. I answered your question, bro. I answered your question. Come on, man.
No, you didn't, because the question that I asked you didn't constitute an available answer of that would be awesome. It would constitute if you would or wouldn't vote for Harris under those circumstances. So under those circumstances, would you or would you not have voted for Harris? There you go. Got on mute.
Yeah, so under the circumstances where she has total power and she's able to give everyone abortion rights, of course I would vote for Harris. 100%.
Okay, so in other words, if she was able to codify those protections, right, then you would have sufficiently voted for her. Now let's talk about a precautionary stance. So I have a question. On what level of risk would you value the potentiality of constituting federal protections for those women's right to choose over not? Because you can make the argument that it is possible that Kamala Harris will not be able to pass congressional legislation, right, to protect all women's access to abortion, meaning that those 22,000 women will have access to abortion. And I will grant that, okay? You might even really be able to push the envelope and say that it's probable, right? However, an assumption of a precautionary
It was a landslide. What are you talking about, envelope push? That was a reasonable assumption.
If it is in the case, right, that it is probable that she wouldn't be able to get it passed, but yet significantly possible, that we'd still have more than sufficient reason to vote for Kamala Harris due to the overwhelming harm reduction that would be caused.
You said if it was slightly possible, does that justify
No,
a vote for Kamala
overwhelmingly
Harris?
possible yet not probable. I'd make the argument.
No,
that
no,
it's probable.
no. I think my logic is far superior to that logic. If they're voting on 1%, 2%, well, I'm voting on a sure thing. I think we will grow enormously.
No, I said overwhelming possible yet not probable. We're talking about 40 to 49. But overwhelming, I do think that it was probable that it would have been able to get passed.
No, I don't think it was. I don't think any reasonable person could have said that Kamala is going to be able to have all these reproductive. Is going to be able to like pass legislation through Congress. She's going to win all the.
Yeah, why?
It's going to be a full sweep.
Why?
Pardon?
Why?
Well, because if you just look at online sentiment or any of the polls, it was like
70% of Americans support federal protections for access to abortion.
Well, how many Republicans support federal protection for access to abortions?
I think it's about 30.
Oh, there you go. And those people are voted into office, and they are voted into office based on societal consensus.
If all Democrats in Congress,
you're citing a poll right now. I'm citing people who are voted into office on these positions.
If all Democrats in Congress and 30% of Republicans in Congress voted for federal protections for every single woman's right to choose, would that win Congress?
Yeah, I don't think the Republicans would ask to negotiate on that, and they'll ask for a whole bunch of things for that to happen. So,
now we're getting into speculation.
No, that's not speculation. That's
so I
not
like how you said that your
playing.
logic is superior to my logic. That I use evidence through polling, and you use nothing more than your pure blatant speculation.
Wait, what do you think Trump was doing? Was he negotiating when he shut down the border bill?
Oh, Donald Trump can't negotiate, and that's why he failed.
So he failed negotiating, but he tried.
But he tried to do what?
He tried to negotiate with the border bill. He tried to I forget whatever legislation it was at the time.
The bipartisan border bill?
Yeah.
Well, no, he didn't try to negotiate. He just told them to torpedo it.
Okay, well, he negotiates all the time in Congress, and that's a pretty common thing.
So then
That's
why was he so
stopped
ineffective at getting policy passed?
Pardon?
Then why was he so ineffective at getting policy passed?
He's a bad negotiator. I'm not saying he's good.
Thank you.
Okay.
So is there anything else that you wanted to go over?
That doesn't change the fact that Republicans will use that as leverage, so it probably won't happen. In this scenario, it's extremely unlikely, Dean. And also, my logic that I'm using for voting for Donald Trump, you're conceding that you find it persuasive. You're not challenging that logic at all. You're saying it's true.
No, I don't find it persuasive in the slightest, right? I mean, I'd say...
And you say that if there's
you're essentially upholding... One moment. You're basically using utilitarian...
Or I should not be voting for Trump.
Do you mind if I speak here without interrupting?
Go ahead.
So you're trying to make the argument that Trump's presidency will cause harm, but in the long run, because of the radicalization around progressive ideals, that it will be for the overall benefit, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Would you kill 10 people to save 20?
Nah, probably. I don't believe in killing people.
Congratulations, your logic is not.
Oh, hold on. No. Okay, so what do you think? Trump is going to kill more Americans?
Yeah. We're going to move on to our next guest, just because it's a bit annoying. But yeah, I'll just go ahead and give you a really clear-cut example. Kamala Harris wanted to increase the child tax credit to $6,000 for newborns, $3,600 from anyone from the age of 1 to 5, then $3,000 after that. That was expected to reduce childhood poverty by upwards of 40%. And reduction to childhood poverty, you're saving more lives, right? And the negation of that, since Trump is elected and will not increase the childhood tax credits to the same regard, right, we will see more children killed. Yep. What is up, HCF? Did you vote for Trump?
What's up? Yeah, yes, I did.
Phenomenal. Why is that?
Two parts. I do like some of his policy ideas, and I think that Kamala at this point was probably more of a puppet of the whole the Democratic Party and what was going on.
Thank you for the $11 and the 11 cents on Venmo. Show some love to Lindsay down below in the chat for the $11. I do really appreciate you for that. And Amaya, thank you for the $5 on PayPal. So let's start off with your first point. You said that his policies were better. What policies specifically?
No, I said I'd like some of his policies.
Well, how were his policies?
Okay, so
that's going to be the overwhelming point you'd be trying to reach with that, right?
Yeah. So I mean, I do like the idea of slowing down and what he wants to do in immigration, even though I am an immigrant myself.
I have a question. What are his plans for immigration?
He wants to close down the borders.
How's he going to close down the borders?
Deport violent immigrants.
How is he going to close down the borders? And his plan for deportation is all undocumented migrants. So what is his plan for mass deportation and what is his plan for closing down the borders?
Multiple times that he wants to deport violent migrants.
I mean, well, if you're right, I mean that is slightly better. So I mean, like,
he has said that. To be fair, he has said that multiple
so can you give me his plan or not?
Yeah. So he wants to add more agents to the
Wait,
border.
wait, he fucking thinks that all undocumented migrants are violent. Sure. Oh my God, wait, no, hold on. Spare, no. Spare me the goddamn theatrics. He's gonna sit here and he's gonna say that he only wants to deport violent undocumented migrants, but then in his next breath, he says that all undocumented migrants are like criminal murderers from MS-13 gang prisons in Venezuela that are going to grape our women, eat our family cats, and kill our children. He thinks they're all violent, so I'm glad we could clarify on that. Leslie, thank you for the $25 on Venmo, and Ren, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. Thank you, Leslie and Ren. Show some love to Leslie and Ren in the chat. Thank you guys so much for the love. But please tell me his plan to quote unquote close the border.
I'm not claiming this as an immigrant view. This is the first time in like my whole time that I've been here in the States that I've ever been in favor of higher deportation rates. Just because, as an immigrant, it affects my community. When immigrant crime
could you
goes
please
up,
answer
which
my
it has.
question?
Yeah, I did. He wants to bring more ICE agents to the border. He wants to, I think he said, wants to activate National Guard to help secure the border as well. He wants to add drone surveillance to the border as well.
So then how come he torpedoed the bipartisan border bill? Because the bipartisan border bill not only further funded Border Patrol and agencies to crack down on drug crimes and human trafficking crimes, which are disproportionately committed by citizens, by the way, but it also would seek to make our legal systems of migration essentially much faster, quicker, and easier to further reduce the amount of undocumented migrants coming into our country. So if Donald Trump truly cared about... One moment, stop. So if Donald Trump truly cared about our southern border, well then how come he torpedoed the bipartisan border bill in the House and the Senate 2 years back to make the Democrats look bad?
I thought we were talking about the policies that were going forward and not what happened in the past.
Well, I think what has happened in the past just shows us that he has no real care for the border. He's all about rhetoric and whatever will convince the most amount of American citizens as possible to vote for him, all while not having really any real intention of solving the issues. For instance, under his first term, we only saw year-by-year border numbers go up and up and up. And the only reason he had low border crossings as a whole was because of the implementation of Title 42 with COVID. And it is very important to discuss his torpedoing of the bipartisan border bill because it demonstrates his lack of true care.
Listen, I'm just going by what the conversation has been this whole point. The whole point is to talk about the policies that he wants to enact, right? Not about what happened with Biden or Trump in the past.
Well, I mean, I'm led to believe that he's not really even going to enact them because last time he ran on a wall, and what did he do? He built 3.4%. He also ran on sticking the bill of that wall to Mexico, and what did he do? He stuck it to the DoD budget.
I will agree that the wall.
So it's like not only do we have like prior experiences of him being like, I care so much about the border, yada 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 yada, just to get the prejudiced white vote, but we also have experience with him not actually implementing those things. We have experience with him being really ineffective, and then on top of that, the cherry on top is nothing more than the fact that he torpedoed the bipartisan border bill under Biden and Harris.
Okay.
Aaron, thank you for the $30 on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love, Aaron. Everybody show some love to Aaron down below in the chat. Thank you so much for the love. And Ren, thank you for the $5. W's for Aaron down below.
So that is one of the things that I do like. I do like the tax, some of the tax stuff that he's talked about as far as overtime not getting taxed. I think that would be a really good one as well. I think that would help both increase middle class wages and bring more money into circulation.
I hear you. So how is he going to pay for his tax plan? The CBO estimates it's going to cost upwards of $7 trillion. My good sir, where is that money going to come from?
Tariffs, which is not all tariffs to everything. It's tariffs. It's strategic tariffs to certain things that we get tariffs
not
exporting.
Tariffs. It is flat tariffs on all goods imported into.
It's the same sort of tariffs that he put last time that Biden kept.
That is false. That is not true whatsoever. It is a flat 10 to 20% tariffs on all goods imported into our country, not strategic tariffs implemented on.
Pretty sure he hasn't
countries like
stated
China.
that himself.
No, give me a source.
Off the top of my mind?
You give me a source. Go on Google, find one.
Okay, give me 2 seconds then.
All right. In the meantime, guys, make sure that we're double tapping away on that phone screen, y'all. Isabella, thank you for the $7 on Venmo. I sent $7 to the wrong Dean account. Yeah, there's someone out there like pretending to be me. I bet they get a decent amount of donations. If you just wanted to go straight to me, I do have my Venmo, my PayPal linked as links in my link tree in my bio. But I do once again just really appreciate everyone for your love today. This has been a fucking phenomenal day, you guys. In fact, I may even stay on, do a little bit of a marathon stream until we hit 2 million followers. I bet we could get there. I really do. But I mean, I also get a little bit tired out after too many hours of this stuff. So
Yeah, if you all those sources that I'm seeing are talking about the tariffs that were already in place that Biden kept, and that he wants to expand on those.
So do you have a source where he just talks about the implementation of his tariffs moving forward being strategic because he wants to implement flat tariffs on all goods imported?
But even if he does that, I understand that would raise expenses for imported products all around. But if he lowers the taxes so that people have more money, that would kind of balance it out, no?
No. And the reason that is because 83% of the tax cuts in the TCGA go to people making over $500,000 a year, while they benefit people making under $50,000 a year the least. Meanwhile, tariffs are regressive and they negatively impact those making less income more than those making more, as they'd spend a disproportionate amount of their income on those bare necessities to live. Right. So like I could see possibly supporting tariffs if we'd also have tax plan that is built for members of the low and the middle class. But that is not what Trump offers. Right. Plus, right, tariffs are just a bad way to drive domestic production of goods. There's other ways, such as raw investment into the market, into U.S. producers, right, that doesn't yield the same inefficient outcomes, such as inflation or plummeting of U.S. exports due to the starting trade wars. And just all things considered, I think his plan is going to be very detrimental to income inequalities for the reason that it mostly benefits rich people while mostly detrimenting poor people with the tariffs.
Yeah, I mean, I can see how the tariffs could go the wrong way. I think that so I know he wants to reinstate the taxes that were put in that are about to expire, and that brought down the percentage tax on the middle class, not by a huge margin, but by a little bit. I know that he wants to give more tax cuts for families with children. I think that helps as well.
I mean, if we're
And
talking about tax cuts for families with children, let's talk about how Kamala Harris wanted to increase the child tax credit to $6,000 for the first year of a child's life, $3,600 for the second 4, and then $3,000 for any child from the age of 5 to 19. 17. That's expected to reduce childhood poverty rates by upwards of 40 to 50%. So, I mean, if you want to further fund
yeah, but I think
families, keeping them better off, what you need to
the
do
child tax
is
rate that he
increase the
wants is
child
up
tax
until
credit.
6 years old or something else.
Kamala Harris is up until 17.
But for me, as far as the tax credit stuff, the overtime one was the big one because I know a lot of people that would help a lot.
Yeah, and I think that I would believe that this is something that he'd actually pass if he had a plan to pay for it, but he doesn't. Tariffs wouldn't even cover the $7 trillion over 10 years, not to mention the detriment of them.
But to be 100% honest, the biggest thing for me on why I lean, because I'm not Republican, I'm more towards the center. I like listen to both sides of the positions. The biggest thing for me was I don't like. I don't like, for example, if you see the only reason he won this time around was because so many people who typically vote Democrat ended up voting Republican this time around.
Yeah, I'd say that's one of the reasons. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think a big part of that is due to people just are tired of being told what to think and feeling insulted about it. You know what I mean? Like a big no, but like for example, right?
Trump does. I mean, no one does it more than Trump.
No. But I'm not even talking about more the candidates. I'm talking about more like the big media. You know what you see on TV and on social media, right? For example, the day after he won, the day after he won, you would see it on I think what is it, MSNBC, how they were now switching up to say that Latinos and blacks were misogynists and that there was actually problems between Spanish people amongst themselves.
Tessa, thank you for the $20 on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love, Tessa. Everybody, please show some love to Tessa down below in the chat for the $20 donation. I'm just going to ask you a simple question. What is the world's largest media source?
The world's largest? I have no clue. I'll be honest. I don't know.
Twitter.
I don't.
Who owns Twitter? Elon Musk. What did he pay people to do?
I'm not on Twitter, so I don't know.
He paid people to think.
I don't really use
Donald J.
Yeah,
Trump.
but that's the
and
world, right?
that's the world's largest media source. So let's get that one straight.
What would you say though is like the predominantly, as far as voters go, right? The highest number of voters in the country. Would you say that those people are all on Twitter or they're watching mainstream media?
There's more people on Twitter than watch legacy
No,
news
no,
sources.
for sure, no, for sure. But I'm talking about as far as because I think what the average voting age is what people over 30 are the highest voters.
I don't know, man. Is there anything else you want to add on before I move on to my next guest?
No, you can go ahead, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for coming up, bro. Have a good rest of your day, man.
You too.
Yo, Jacinta, thank you so much for the $10 donation on PayPal. I appreciate you so much for the love. We're going to go and get our next guest up in here, y'all. So everybody just do give us a minute. All right. Everyone just give us a minute, y'all. Hey, what's going on? Did you vote for Trump?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, man. Did you vote for Trump?
You know I voted for Trump.
So why did you vote for Trump?
I voted for Trump for the obvious reasons. He won the electoral.
Big Doug, thank you for that, Jason. I appreciate you for the love.
Hey, Dean.
Crowded, thank you for the galaxy as well. Thank you.
Dean.
What's going on, man?
May I say something that is, I think, appropriate and eloquent for right now? It is the Trump people that keep your channel going, because if we didn't come up and argue with you and share our
Stage
side,
the strike.
Then you wouldn't have it.
Stage the strike.
You wouldn't have the channel.
Stage the strike.
Stage
I'll
what
be
strike?
fine. I'll be fine. I'll be fine if you stage the strike. I will be fine.
No. I'm not saying that as in like I'm just bullshitting right now about it, but like for real, none of your opposition comes up and argues you, do they?
Yes, that's the whole point of the live is to argue.
I'm sorry.
with
Yeah, you're right.
opposition.
The opposition. I meant your allies on here don't come up and argue you.
When I'm like doing these specific debate streams now.
But
Dario, thank you for the $25 donation on PayPal. I appreciate you for the love, Dario. Show some love to Dario down below in the chat. Thank you so much. You're awesome. Thank you, Dario.
You should understand that we're a big part of your success.
Yeah, I owe my success, right, to not only advocating for things that would make the world around me better, but also advocating for this change in a very individual scale with people that fall on the other side of the political aisle. I do not owe my success to you. I owe my success to others learning and taking away from the messages that I tell you.
I've learned and taken things away from you. Have you ever owned any businesses, Dean?
Yeah.
You did? How did you absolve your businesses when you were all done with them?
I mean, one wasn't absolved, and like not the other, not really.
It's absolved, by the way.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that word as well as you can. But why? That's such a weird question. Why?
Well, you get on Trump's ass a lot about his.
Kayla, thank you for the $5 on PayPal. Absolved.
You get on Trump's ass a lot.
So why do you want to know about like businesses that I've had dissolve? What?
Dean, because you contradict yourself quite often, and you get on Trump's ass about his way that he bankrupt and everything, and your track record with your businesses, buddy, digital millionaire, your shit sucks. And you did the same damn thing he did.
Businesses.
You ran your shit into the ground
what did
and
I
no
do that
money.
Trump did?
So you followed the same footsteps, big dog. You hella goaded.
What are you specifically talking about? I mean, I feel free. I'm open to talking about any of that stuff, sir. And you probably got a large new audience that doesn't know about it. What do you want to know?
No. I'm just saying that you hella goaded.
Oh, so yeah, when you say hella goated, what you're obviously going to be referring to is this screenshot, right, that came out of me saying you're hella goated my N-word when I was 14 years old. I would be more than willing and open and honest to talk about that with you, right? Because I feel like that's such a big imperative for why I do what I do today. So when I was younger, I used slurs, and that is a fact. And the reason why I obviously no longer use slurs today was because of exposure to the same education that I try to provide to others today.
I've heard
this
this
is
story,
something
Dean.
I've talked about on my platform for the last 10
I
to
know.
12 months. And
And
it's
you
always
blocked
been
me
something
twice.
that I've always been very obvious and open to talking about as well.
No,
I
that's
think
not
what
true
we need to
'cause you
do is
blocked
we
me
need to
twice, buddy.
condemn the use of racial slurs. We need to condemn, all right, racism as a whole, right? But I feel like the aspect of being able to recognize those behaviors as being wrong, hold yourself accountable, be transparent, apologize, right? And then actively on a day-by-day basis, advocate for others to be different in that same regard, to become better people as a whole, right? Is the whole predication in the existence of my platform. I mean, look at what I'm doing here literally right now, talking to people that voted for Trump to hopefully instill foundational values and beliefs, right? So they will hold a different character in 4 years when the next election comes about. And I know that your whole purpose of coming up in here is to try to further perpetuate the false, fake, manufactured outrage and hate from the right that you don't care about in your heart, or you wouldn't have voted for Trump. And I even knew that bringing you up on the stream, but I wanted you to bring it up so you could feel utterly fucking defeated when you are faced with a man that can hold himself more accountable than the next goddamn president of our country.
I must say.
And he's done. Samantha, thank you for the $7 on Venmo. I appreciate that. A lot of people are spamming the comment section about how Bryce Hall is live. Christian, thank you for the $5 on PayPal. We're going to get our next guest up in here, y'all. So everyone just give us a minute. We'll go ahead and look Bryce Hall up on my computer. Let's go ahead and see what he's at. Everybody just give us a minute, y'all. He is. Yeah, he only has 3K viewers. Get mugged, Bryce Hall. Get mugged. Get mugged. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. All right, we're going to move on to our next guest. Let's go and see what Lane has to say, y'all. Everybody just give us a minute. Dario, thank you for the $5 on PayPal. I really appreciate you for the love. Hey, what's going on, Lane? Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
All right, how old are you?
I am 18. I just turned 18 this year, actually.
All right, so why did you vote for Trump then?
I voted for Trump. I'm young, so I don't know as much as you, obviously, but I voted for Trump because of the fact, like everyone has said, with the immigration and all that kind of stuff. I think that is a problem. And
okay, you think immigration is a problem. So how is Donald Trump going to fix this problem?
Like previous people that have joined, he's going to deport the violent migrants.
So he's going to deport all undocumented migrants. How is he going to do that? You know that every Republican that we've had run for president in the last, 24 years has said that they're going to deport undocumented migrants. Bush never did it, and Trump never did it during his first term because it is practically impossible. It will never happen. It is unrealistic.
Okay, and I understand what you're saying. Yes, I believe that as well. But it's just the way when he projects that and says that, it gives that's why he gains people's votes. It's the same thing that Democrats do.
No. It's something that is mostly specific to Trump because he will say whatever he can to get as many votes as possible. Jacinta, thank you for the $16 on PayPal. I appreciate you for the love, Jacinta. Everybody show some love to Jacinta in the comment section right now. I really appreciate you for that. Right. And the issue with this is he did the same thing with gas. He did the same thing with inflation. He just says whatever anybody wants to hear. But that's not how we're supposed to vote, right? You should vote for a candidate that doesn't just say good things, but has an intentional, thorough, nuanced plan on how they are going to achieve those good things.
Correct. But Kamala was vice president for those 4 years, and what has she done? What was Kamala going to do that she was actually going to achieve?
Let's talk about what she did in the last 4 years because that was your first question. She passed more tie-breaking votes in the Senate than any VP that we've ever had in American history. She influenced some of the most monumental legislation in modern U.S. history straight through the executive branch, through Congress, signed into law, more so than Trump did as president for his 4 years. We'd be looking at things such as the Inflation Reduction Act, the PACT Act, the Infrastructure Bill, the American Rescue Plan, and the Inflation and the CHIPS and Science Act. What did Trump do during his first 4 years? What was your favorite policy that he influenced to get passed?
During Trump's when Trump was president, I wasn't really fully into, because I was young, I didn't pay attention to that as much.
What is he going to do this time? Name one policy of his that you like.
I like the policy that he is going, the tariffs. I think as much as I agree with what you said about the how it's not the correct way to go about. I can't exactly pinpoint it. I've been waiting for so long. I can't remember what you said. Can you re-enlighten me as to what you said about the tariffs.
Oh yeah. So so tariffs are really really bad because tariffs cause inflation and destroy American companies and exports.
I agree with that, but it also does it not help American businesses with dealing with the stuff we're importing from other places? Because it adds more value to American made.
Esther, thank you for the $5
Anything.
on PayPal. What are you saying?
Doesn't it add value to American made things as
Yeah, thank
opposed
you for the
to
subscription.
importing things from?
It gives consumers more of an incentive to buy from American companies because goods from other countries are more expensive. But there's other ways to incentivize American production of goods, right, to a higher extent without causing the same inefficiencies, such as plummeting exports and inflation. Right, one example of such would just be raw investment. For instance, Biden and Harris invested $25 billion into U.S. chip producers, right, and because of that, in the next 6 years, we are going to be producing 20% of the global chip supply. Donald Trump did the same thing with his Americans Farmer Bill, where he invested $27 billion into them to reinvigorate and bring them back from the destruction that they felt due to a plummet of U.S. agricultural exports caused by those tariffs on China.
Okay, I like I said, you're teaching me just as much as I'm not necessarily arguing with you, and I'm trying to prove my point. I'm learning from you, just like your program or your platform is for. So that is one thing.
One second, man. I'm not gonna go over to Bryce's stream, and I'd recommend that none of y'all do either. Looks like Parker's over there right now. Parker got it. I honestly just don't want to give him more viewers, so I'll let Parker handle this one. Anyways, go ahead, man.
And then my other thing was with I believe it was the one lady that was on here that was talking about the sanctuary. I can't fully remember it. She was talking about the sanctuary towns and stuff like that.
Yo, Dario, thank you so much for the $25 on PayPal. I really appreciate you for the love, Dario. Everybody, please show Dario some love down below in the chat. Thank you so much for the $25. I really appreciate you for that. I will say though, Bryce is loading up like a bunch of random people. I almost want to go get on an alt account and then hop on the queue. But I'm not a gambling man. I'd just be wasting my time into my stream early. Show some love to Dario down below in the chat. If you want to support me, my Venmo as well as my PayPal are my bio. And I do appreciate you guys for the love. It looks like Bryce is actively running for Parker. That's pretty funny. Good for Parker, up and on that. Let's do it. Bryce is talking about me on his live? I don't know. Should we drop in? We'll see. We'll see. We'll listen. We'll listen in the background. He's not saying anything right now. He said he won't debate me.
Hello?
Wait.
Hello?
Did Bryce Hall just
Hello?
say on stream that he wouldn't debate me? It's fucking embarrassing. What's going on, Flashy? Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, I did. As a matter of fact, I'm a new voter too, and I'm gonna come to you humbly, bro. Honestly, I don't know much, but I do have a general knowledge of pretty much everything. So I want to talk to you about how you told me how Trump is racist.
Sure. So Donald Trump is racist because he has a track record of unapologetic racism without accountability, starting in the 70s when he denied housing applications to black people because of the color of their skin in 73. Then in 91 when he said that all black people are lazy, affirming that that's something that he said in 97. Wait,
You can give me a source?
It's like you kind of just know, oh, this looks like.
Wait, for what?
You can give me a source for saying that all black people are lazy?
Yeah. Just look up all the time that look up all the times that Trump has been racist by Hugh L. It was published. And wait.
Okay.
It was just look up. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to read the comment section. I apologize for kicking you. Are you guys saying that Bryce Hall said that he'll debate me right now?
Couldn't tell you. I thought it was girly pop bratness.
Are you guys saying that he said he'd debate me?
Hello?
He didn't?
Hello?
No, he's okay. You guys are giving me conflicting view. You guys are giving me a conflicting view right now. Stay on live? Okay. All right, dude. He said no. Okay. Yeah, that's.
You guys didn't hear that, right?
That's what I thought.
Don't send me any of that.
Hey, what's up, Sean? Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah,
All right. Why did you do that?
because I don't want no Indian president, and I also don't like abortion.
Okay. Why don't you want an Indian president?
Because we live in America, not India, boy.
Okay. So would you say that Obama? So she
I
was
also
born in
didn't like
America.
Obama. Yeah, but she's Indian.
Wait. What race would you like to see our president be?
White.
So you think that America is a white country?
Yeah,
Why do you think that America is a white country?
because it's predominantly white, man. Like,
So
what
if we
color
were
are you, man?
so if it was not predominantly white, we would no longer be a white country.
Tell me any good leader that's not white, boy. Go on, tell me.
God, I mean, obviously, fucking Obama is
You
just the first
froze
one that
up.
comes to
You
my mind.
don't know
I'm
any,
just really
do you?
thinking about how like fucking insane this is. Hey, real quick, what is?
Yeah, so tell me one
What
then,
is,
boy.
what is? I said Obama. What is 4 times 4?
Obama. What did Obama do? for
Hey,
America?
what is 4 times 4? What is 4 times 4?
What's 16, boy?
How many continents are there?
7.
Name them.
Name them: Antarctica, Europe, South America. What else we got? Europe, Antarctica.
You said
North
Europe twice.
America.
You fucking dumbass. Get out of my
Yeah,
life.
boy.
What is that shit? Move it on. Jesus Christ, Alaska. Thank you for the $5 on Venmo. Gross. Hey, what's up? Did you vote for Trump? Hey, did you vote for Trump?
No, I didn't.
Oh, W base.
But
Hey, Ruby, I appreciate you for the $16 on PayPal. Thank you so much for the love, Ruby. Everybody, please do show Ruby some love down below in that comment section. That is so kind of you. Bryce called me the F slur on his live? What the fuck? Embarrassing. He's about to get taken down. He's about to get taken down. He's about to get taken down. All right, we're going to go to get our next guest.
This was like actually supposed to be a really
We're about to get our next guest loaded up in here.
segment.
You just, okay, yeah. All right, everybody just give us a minute while we're getting our next guest up in here. Loki, should we just turn this into like a talk live where we talk about the election, we talk about everything that's going on, or should we keep doing debates? Let me see a 1 in the chat for debates. Let me see a 2 in the chat for just like talking about the election last couple of days, Bryce Hall and all this shit.
Hey Emily, I was trying to find haters.
You know what? I bet that we could just do a quick poll. We're just going to do a quick poll. Everybody do just give us a minute. For the 14,000 people hanging out with us in here, welcome in, y'all. Yo, Dario, I appreciate you for the $25 on Venmo. You are absolutely phenomenal. Okay, smiley face for debates, sad face for like everything else. Smiley face is debate, sad face is like everything else. Yo, Misha, thank you for the $33 and the 33 cents on Venmo, and Kayla with the $10. Everybody, please show some love to Amisha and Kayla. You guys are absolutely phenomenal. Thank you guys so much for the love. Show some love to Amisha and Kayla. All right, looks like debates are winning. I guess we're going to go ahead and stop giving our attention to the irrelevant scum by the name of Bryce Hall. Let's go and get our next guest up in here. Everybody do just give us a minute, y'all. All right, everybody do be patient. Debates are winning, quite frankly. All right, let's see what our next guest has to say. Yeah, I wish that Bryce Hall would have debated me, but like, honestly now, he has shown that he is scared of me. He's shown that he knows I'm intellectually superior. In fact, there's a private conversation that Bryce Hall had with a couple of people I know that I could leak and embarrass the shit out of him, but I will never. But we're gonna move on to our next guest. Yeah. Yo, Dario, holy shit, with another $40 on PayPal. I appreciate you so much for the love, Dario. Everybody, please do show some love to Dario down below in the chat with a $40. Massive love to Dario. I really appreciate you for that. That is so incredibly kind. And guys, make sure if you are in the queue that you did vote for Trump. We're just gonna try to get our next guest up in here. But I don't know. I think it's time to let Bryce Hall just kind of die off. You know what I mean? We're gonna let him like crawl his way back into his 2016 hole of doing the whip and nay with Lil Huddy and Addison Rae, right? Stephanie, thank you for the $10 on PayPal. I appreciate you for the love. Thank you so much. All right, yeah, we need to go back to forgetting about the Bryce. Okay. Like, in all reality, what the fuck is a Bryce Hall? I think that's the question that we all truly need to be asking right now. Hey, thank you so much for the subscription. Really appreciate you. Hey, what's going on, Jay? Did you vote for Trump?
Yo, hello, can you hear me?
What's going on, man? Did you vote for Trump? And Bree, thank you for the $10 on Venmo, saying much respect. I appreciate that, Bree.
I actually want to come here. I actually had a quick question, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, run it by me.
So I just barely missed the election. I just turned 18. I literally just missed the election. I live in Northern California. Up here in California, where I'm from, it's more of like a redder part, I would say. Like everyone around here is like really conservative, and it's not really democratic around here, as you know, more towards like the cities and whatnot. I'm not really well educated on the democratic side of things because I am from a redder area, and so I just wanted to come up here and just kind of talk to you. Just if you could give me some like tips or pointers as to why like the Democratic Party is good or why like Kamala Harris is better. Or I just want to
sure, man.
know.
I mean, I think I could just kind of start off explaining on why I don't like Trump, and then we could just kind of branch off of that. Because, you know, those are virtues that are important for us all to hold, especially in the upcoming years. Yo, Maisha, are you voting for Trump?
No, I did not vote for Trump. But I wanted to talk to you about something just to get people to realize. Because I was arguing with somebody on here before. I did not vote for Trump. Let me get to the point because people be talking too much. But they were saying mass deportation will make our economy better, and basically it'll get illegals out, and you know, people just come on here and just say whatever, and then
How old are you? I just want to clarify.
I'm 24.
All right, you're good. Go ahead.
But they were just saying like, oh, mass deportation would help us with make our crime levels go down, make our economy go down, or like make our you know, just make our world in general or our country in general just better. And I'm just trying to tell them that it's not. That's going to do the total opposite. I feel like it's going to cause the Great Recession all over again.
Well, to your point, yes, migrants, including undocumented migrants, are going to add $7 trillion to our GDP in the next 10 years. So things such as mass deportations will take people out of the workforce, will reduce consumer spending, and will lead to a less than increased rate in our GDP. Right?
Yeah,
so
and I'm sorry, and what I was just trying to tell them on this one page, because he just made this smart ass comment talking about Trump is not just going to get in office and just change everything. He has control of, Republicans have control of the Senate and the House. So it's uneven now. So now, you know, if he really wanted to pass these laws, you know, there is a possibility that he could. And, you know, mass deportation is just they just don't understand that these immigrants are 13. They have jobs 13.7% in construction, 12.7% in architectural, 7.1% in medical. Like, what do they think that these jobs are just going to be open and we're just going to fill them? If that was the case, then we would have just filled them before, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, well, I appreciate you for coming up.
Just don't get it.
Me neither. I appreciate you for coming up. Have a good rest of your day. You're an incredibly informed, intelligent person. Thank you so much for your time. I heard a couple of people saying that he's chatting about me. Let's listen in. We're going to listen in for a minute, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, he's just kind of going guess again. We'll keep it there. Chandler, what's up? Did you vote for Trump?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so why did you vote for Trump, man?
To be honest, like I really it was kind of like how what's his name?
Okay, he just left. Strange behaviors. All right, let's go and get our next guest up in here. Trinity, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. So apparently Bryce is saying that I ran from him at the hotel. Sorry, at the casino. So, like, first of all, how old am I, chat? I'm 20. Can a 20-year-old be on a casino floor? Thank you. You know, I called him out 2 days in a row. I specifically invited him to have a conversation with me. He refused. He did not respond. And then the next day said, I will get a studio, right, for us to have a conversation at in person, You don't have to pay for anything. You don't have to set up anything, and I will just invite you and you will show up. Okay. And you know what he did? He dodged, pivoted, deflected, and never fucking responded. I even personally texted him on Instagram, said, so are we good for tonight? Never responded. Never responded until I left. And you know the craziest part is? He had his manager call my hotel room, my fucking hotel room, 2 a.m. 2 a.m. the night when I had to leave the next morning at 7 to see if we can meet up. Right? But for those curious, in Las Vegas, Nevada, if you are under the age of 21, you can't be on a casino floor. Does that mean that I was on casino floors? Well, I was, to be honest. But no, like you can't go on a casino floor. If you're at any of the machines, you get ID'd. The only way that you could be on a casino floor under the age is walking through. But like overwhelmingly, there was still 3 people that showed up to the casino at the Aria and talked to Bryce to try to get him to have a conversation with me. I went to bed early because I was tired. But he won't tell you about that. No. He won't tell you about the 3 people that I had go to Aria to talk to him. He won't talk about that. Right? But if he wants to talk about running, right, let the record be known that you could go to my account. You could watch my 2 videos that I posted while I was in Vegas, doing anything and everything to get Bryce Hall to sit down, box, and debate me. And then you could go over to his account and see if he gave it any public response. The answer to this day is no. Emily, thank you for the $2 on Venmo. But I think now is a good time to leave Bryce in the past. I'm going to be honest. I think now is a really good time to leave Bryce in the past. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's what we're going to do. And I support it. One moment. Yeah, Parker's trying to get a debate with him right now. So we'll support Parker. But I know that like Bryce won't accept the debate with Parker. Lori, thank you for the $10 on PayPal. And maybe the only reason I know that is because I've been trying to get a debate with him for the last couple months. But okay, apparently he ended his life. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, everyone coming from Bruce Walls Live. First of all, I'm sorry that you had to experience that. Anthony, hey, what's going on? Did you vote for Trump, man?
I just want to say I find it pretty weird that everybody that's beat you, talking about Trump and shit, you kicked. And no one cares about Bryce. He's irrelevant. We're here for debate. Why are you talking about Bryce?
You find it weird that every single person that I've kicked off of this live has been with the reason that they're either just
you're asking about Trump and then you're kicking people when they win about it.
What? Wait, when they win a debate?
When they're talking to you and you can't say anything back.
Okay, so yeah, you think that I kick people when they make a good point and I can't give a response. Could you give me an example?
Exactly. Before, 10 minutes ago, and that dude was
Tell me what their good point was. Okay, well, he's going to say he left. Good thing I had my hands over here, because in order to kick him, they'd have to be over here. Great. Yeah, he just left. Uh-oh. That's what it is, chat. I guess I wonder why people only put 3 brain cells worth of labor into the creation of the points they try to bring up against me, as if I won't be oh, why do you think that? What's your evidence? How do you know that's true? God, dude, critically think for the first in your goddamn life, man. We're going to go to get Vance up in here. I really wonder how close we are to 2 million followers. That is just phenomenal. A week and a half ago, we were at 1 million followers. And then 3 weeks before that, we were at 200,000. In the last month, we've gained near 1.7 to 1.8 million followers. If that's not crazy, I don't know what is. I love you guys. What's up, Ryan? Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did vote for Trump.
Oh, why?
So my main thing is mostly I thought the Tax Cut Jobs Act that he put in place when he first got into office, all the way up, it's in place till 2025. I assume he's going to kind of do something similar and make it go longer. I feel like that is a good policy, and that is the reason why.
You debated Parker yesterday?
Yeah, I did. Wait, how'd you
Did
know
you have
that?
the chat? Did you have a conversation with him about Trump's tax cuts?
No, I didn't. I ended up not bringing that up.
Okay, what did you bring up with him?
It ended up spiraling into my LDS religion, which we can
Your
talk about
LDS?
religion. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 23.
Are you
I
married
went on
yet?
a mission. Not married yet, but I do go to BYU.
Joseph Smith would be mad, man. Joseph Smith is rolling in his grave.
Yeah, I'm
Sydney, thank you for
really,
the $5 on Venmo.
I'm really not following the get engaged and married in 2 weeks after getting home from a mission.
But you gotta be BYU. You gotta do it. You gotta fit in.
Yeah, that's my bad. That's on me.
Yeah. So about Trump's tax cuts, yeah, I mean, you said that you're like a college student. I'm guessing that you don't make like a substantial amount of money. Would I be right in that assumption?
No, not
Correct me?
yet. I am going into data science, and the typical starting average pay, it says, is like $100K out of college. I don't know if I'll get there or whatnot, but I felt like that kind of area, even
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, you would have benefited more from.
175K is a,
You would benefited more from Kamala Harris's tax plan because it's built for 100 million American workers in the low and middle class. It's intentionally designed to only benefit people in the low and the middle class. Trump's, on the other hand, it's designed for million billionaires and corporations, and just kind of by extension benefits members in the middle class, but it's not designed for them, right? So like, that's why I'd say if like you're making under $500,000 a year, you're better off to vote for Kamala Harris, or you would have been, because her tax policy is made for you. But Margaret, thank you for the $10 on PayPal. I appreciate you so much for the love, Margaret. That is so incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much.
Got you. So the reason why I liked that policy, though, is because the money for single filers from 91,000 to 191,000 was cut from 28% to 24%.
Sydney, thank you for the $20 on Venmo as well. I appreciate you for the love, Sydney. I do. I really appreciate that, Sydney. Yeah, so there's some cuts for like members of the middle class in the TCGA. I won't deny that. But like for the next 4 years, what matters is how are we going to build off of that. So I mean, like Trump predominantly wanted to build off of that with like more like tax cuts for like members of the top 1%. Meanwhile, Kamala Harris wanted to build off on that by just offering more breaks to like members of the low and the middle class. Things like $50,000 off your taxes for the first year of your business's life, $25,000 off of a down payment of a home if it's your first time buying and it's newly developed, increases in the child tax credit, and like that's what was relevant for like the average American. And then of course we also have the issue of how much it costs and how we're going to pay for it. Is going to cost $7 trillion. He has no fucking plan for how he's going to pay for it. That's just going to be more debt on our economy, which is bad right now because of how high the debt is. Meanwhile, Kamala Harris knew exactly how much it was going to cost, $2.4 trillion, and she knew exactly how she was going to pay for it. You know, there's a lot of differences between the economic policy there.
Got you. Yeah. So I see that, but the only thing that I really had to compare was that Tax Cut Jobs Act, where that 4% in kind of the range that I'd be looking at coming out of college. That's kind of why I voted for Trump now, because I'm a senior in college. So then coming out, I just felt like he would keep that 4% cut. I didn't know if after 2025, if Kamala was for sure going to try and... Yeah, my bad.
That was her plan. Her plan was to renew the TCGA, but further cut taxes for you.
Got you. Okay. So the only reason why I didn't know for sure is because a lot of times, I mean, just like Trump politicians, they always say things, they don't necessarily always get them done. I know for a fact Trump did this, so I know for a fact he would then do it again.
Yeah. I know, but the doing it again, that's the harmful part, because that's another $7 trillion in reckless spending on tax cuts disproportionately designed for rich people that on the macro scale led to no increase in business investment. So it failed the idea of trickle down economics and only led to an average increase in our GDP per year of $10 billion. But do you mind if I ask you something?
Yeah, that's fine.
Every single day, 60 assault victims are denied access to abortion in America because Trump overturned Roe v. Wade. If Kamala Harris was reelected, she would have reinstituted federal protections for every woman and girl's right to choose, including those victims. But she wasn't elected, so they will continue to suffer. How does that make you feel?
I don't really pay too much attention to that. I was just saying the reason why I voted for Trump
That is
is because
60
he
women.
got that
That is
4%
22,000
tax cut of the money that I would be making straight out of college. I would have 4% less percent on tax. And you're saying, yes, Vice President Harris said she would do that. I just know for a fact that Trump already did that and he is going to do it again. So I have 4% less on my taxes.
Okay, so it actually want to be 4% less on your taxes because it would just be the same taxes that you're paying right now as the TCGA is still in effect. George, I think of the galaxy. The only way that you personally would have benefited is if Kamala Harris was elected, so you could benefit from her additional tax cuts for the middle class. And Kamala Harris does have a good historical track record of being able to get policy passed. She was more effective getting policy passed in the last 4 years than Trump was in his first four, right? But the fact that you're going to sit here and tell me that you don't care about 22,000 rape victims that got pregnant being denied access to abortion every year tells me exactly the type of man that you are. You're supposed to be an all-loving Christian. You're supposed to look out for your neighbor. But in all reality, you couldn't give a shit less. And you live in your bubble at BYU where everyone around you doesn't really care either. And it's embarrassing, and I wish it wasn't the case. I feel like we need to go into Utah. I need to personally go down to BYU and talk to some people down there. In fact, my sister lives in Salt Lake. I'm going to take a trip. I'll see you soon.
No, that would actually be great. I love those TikToks where people come into BYU. Like, that would actually be really cool if you came there to BYU. I'd love.
You know, also would be like really cool federal protections for like every single American woman and girl's right to choose. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just saying the reason why I chose to vote for Trump is because I'll get that 4%.
You've just fucking repeated the same bullshit over and over again. Terrible. Okay. Hey, what's up? Did you vote for Trump?
Hello.
Hi, Sienna. Did you vote for Trump?
I didn't, but I do have a few questions because a lot of Republicans
Thank you for the gifts,
have
by
been-
the way, you guys. Go for it.
have been like arguing with me, and I don't really know how to respond.
How old are you?
The main thing is I'm 18.
All right, take it away. We're gonna load up your arsenal. No, Sienna, I can't hear you unless you can see me.
Oh, sorry. The main thing was he said that women's rights aren't going to be taken away because of Trump in office, because I posted a TikTok about like spreading awareness for like the women who have died from abortions because they were, I mean, not died from abortion, sorry, died because they were like refused access. And he messaged me and he was like saying all this stuff about Trump. And
yeah, so Trump already did take away women's access to abortion.
I know. I told him that, like, he overturned Roe v. Wade, but then he argued that, like, he left it up to the states and that if he's in office, he can't take it away. And Kamala wouldn't have done anything because she was vice president and Biden, sorry.
I have a question. Do you think that, like,
I am Australian, sorry. People are saying my accent, but I am Australian, but I live in the U.S.
Just ask him if he thinks overturning and repealing the constitutional amendment that would protect against slavery takes rights away from black people.
Yeah, I know. I just felt like, I don't know.
Taking away a federal protection for a basic human right, is infringing upon the rights of the constituents in which it would impact. So that's applicable to slavery just as it would be applicable to a woman's access to abortion.
And also there's the argument of like deportation as well. Like people are saying that the country will be better off. Isn't it like less than 5% of crimes are committed by illegal immigrants? I don't know. Is that correct?
It's probably less. It's less substantial, but you're going to have to account for proportionality. And when we account for proportionality, undocumented migrants are 2 times less likely to commit violent crimes in comparison to natural-born U.S. citizens. Is there anything else you wanted to ask?
No, thank you.
I appreciate you for coming up, Sienna. Have a good rest of your day.
You too. Bye.
Phenomenal, quite frankly. All right, let's see what we got. We're gonna hop off here. This will probably be our last guest. I'm getting a little bit tired. I could grab some food. I'll probably send out some tweet after this. Also, hey, Ian, I appreciate you for the raid. That's so incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much, Ian. All right, everybody, do just give us one moment here. Let's see what we got. We'll probably send you all over to Parker's here in about 10 minutes. Let's see what Glyx18 has to say. Everyone from Ian's, welcome in. It's so good to see you all. Oh, man, we are so close to 2 mil. That's craziness. That is so crazy. Wait, honestly, I just want to see who's new and who's not. comment the amount of months that you've known who I am. If you've seen me for 1 month, comment 1, 2 months, 2, for a long time, take a guess. I'm just really curious on how long a lot of the people in the chat have known about me. 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 4 days. Holy shit, okay, a lot of you guys are new. Well, welcome in. Maybe I need to give a little bit more of a formal introduction myself. My name is Dean Withers. I've been doing this for quite some time, definitely not on the same scale that I am right now. My background is I grew up conservative and Catholic. In fact, I went to a private Catholic school until I was about 12 years old, went into high school, very conservative, staunchly conservative. But with exposure to, some of my more close friends, as well as university, I'd say in my sophomore, junior year of high school, I became more liberal just with exposure to knowledge and access to education, as well as to these conversations that I have with other people. So my whole platform is now dedicated towards me sharing that same education with other people. I did this on my way up 6 months ago with social issues, and I got into politics, and here we are directly after the election. Melissa, I appreciate you for the $5. But yeah, yep. Someone just commented where I went to school. That's crazy. That's crazy. Anyways, guys, for the 14,000 people in here, if you guys would spam at Parker Good a Job down below in the chat. I'm honestly going to go out in my life here. I'm going to go and get a bite to eat, maybe take a nap, clean up my area. I haven't really taken much of a break since the election, and maybe I'll take a break tonight. So I really love you guys. And just, thank you once again for everybody tuning in here and showing love. Our platform has experienced a lot of growth recently, and I care a lot because it means that my content and, these ideas are being exposed to more people. And that is all that I want at the end of the day. Oscar, thank you for the $11 and the 11 cents on Venmo. I really appreciate that, Oscar. Kamala Harris lost the election, and now it's about moving forward. And the dream's not dead. But the dream's not dead. Head over to Parker's stream. I will see you tomorrow. Expect probably a handful of more tweets from me, so follow the Twitter. I'll also be on Instagram tonight one more time. So, yeah. See you guys tomorrow. Head over to Parker's. He's a great guy. Peace out. Be safe. Peace and love. Bye-bye.